Okay, thank you all for bearing with us. We have returned officially. Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of ESP Enchanting Sorcery Productions Stormwatch. I am your host, Essie, or Erin Spencer. My pronouns are she, her. And speaking of tarot, yes, we already have 4 in the queue, one of which is a wild oracle. So an oracle is wild card. A wild oracle is a wild. So that is upright, so that is a benefit for y'all. So you can use and consume a wild oracle to re-roll any roll of the party's choosing. So you as a group have a luck point, a re-roll point, a luck point, and we also have 2 in the queue from 2 weeks ago. 1 week ago? Time is a weird soup. The 4 of constructs and the artificer, and then also we have a 2 of fiends as well that is also in the queue, and a new one for tonight. Interesting. Which is yet to be revealed. It is pulled. It's the back of the card. Avalon, remind me that that is in the queue. And we have a lot to get to in the queue. I will let you know when these cards arrive, when they come up. Again, reminder that the Wild Oracle is yours to use whenever you see fit. So hello, Rudolph. Hello, Anna. I see Anna in the chat. I see the rest of the cast members in the chat. Avalon starting us off strong with the tarot card pull, adding that to the queue. Haha, this was an interesting one. And these are our Heaven's Fire cards up here. And the Stormwatch cards are down here. So welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Stormwatch. And we're going to go around the table and introduce our lovely and talented cast members to y'all. And then we're going to dive right in. And thank y'all for being a little patient with us tonight. And Season 2, Series 2, Episode 4, Blood in the Rain. So, Isabets, hi, who are you? And who are you going to be playing? And who are you playing?
Hello. I am Elizabeth, or Isbits. I will be playing your Earth Genasi monk, Tara, today.
Also known as the Land Shark.
Also known as the Land Shark.
Awesome. Thank you, Isabets. And Ange, who are you and who are you playing?
I'm Ange, and I will be playing Famous, our lovely paladin defender of the universe.
Awesome. Thank you, Ange. And Nick / Husky. Hi, who are you? Who are you playing?
Hey, I am Nick, or Amberthist in the chat on Twitch. I am playing Clem, the barbarian sorcerer wild magic bunny. Lots of words. And yeah, go by he, him, so does the bunny boy, and yeah, just here to have fun.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. And Avalon. Hey.
Hello. Yeah, I'm Avalon. She, her, or they, them. And I play Rin, the changeling bard, who usually uses she, her, but you never know. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, Avalon. Oh, and I have Nightbot commands. Nope, I think it's under Husky. There it is. All right, that's for Nick. And I know we say this every time, but send me your Linktree or your AP or updated Linktree, and I'll add that to the.
Yes, sorry.
That's okay. No, you don't have to apologize. It is there for y'all. I have yours. I think. Let's see. Exclamation mark. Avalon. Oh, I'll have to add that in there. Thank you for sending that ages ago. I will update it.
As far as I remember, it's still pinned in your the DMs. But yeah.
And we'll add that to Nightbot. And another Terra pull in the queue. We have a long list here. Oh, that's also interesting. Ooh, I can make good narrative with that. Good narrative story with that. It would be, ooh, okay. I can use either or for that one. All right. And last but certainly not least, Jeff/Fathagan on the TikToks. Hello. Who are you and who are you playing?
Good evening. My name is Jeff, and this evening I'm going to be playing Simeon, a Battlemaster fighter, but not the way you think. And I am Technoclave in the chat. And one of these days we may get a secondary feed of nothing but the GIF reaction channel, but not yet.
If anybody wants to make some GIFs, thumbs up. We're here. I'm here for it. And currently playing one of our music partners over at ASKII. And we're going to be using the Adventurer's Tarot, which I believe is under Weird Works. Yep. Check out the Adventurer's Tarot at Weird Works LLC. Don't forget, first one we can show off here from last session is your Wild Oracle, which you can use to reroll any roll that the party so chooses. That is yours to roll. To use, just as is the dice in your power pool, your power die from MCDM Kingdoms in Warfare, which you're using. So you still have a few of those left. You had just engaged in some pretty heavy combat, so who would like to give us a little bit of a recap for DM inspiration for last session, where we last left off with the shenanigans and chaos that happened on the road there?
I think I remember this time around. It hasn't been that long since my brain melted.
Right? It's like a daily occurrence for me. All right, Jeff, take us away for a recap for last time.
So when last we left our intrepid adventurers,
Yes.
we had started combat because we had stumbled upon a caravan in the road, which was broken down, and we were like, we'll be helpful. We're helpful folks, until we realized, no, those are the racist assholes we're fighting. So fight broke out, and just as fight broke out, we discovered that they had been tracked by a contingent of the House Dalhrathir elves who leapt out of the woods with a flurry of arrows and cut them down in their stride. But because we had double digits of tarot pulls during that stream, a wandering hill giant showed up, and people turned invisible, and there were wild surges left and right, chaos, mayhem, but the heroes prevailed, and we didn't even get that badly beaten up. And we were able to stop the raiders. One of the raiders had a goat mount, which tried to run away, and Simeon valiantly captured it, but couldn't figure out how to get it to stop or slow down, and eventually fell off and just walked back.
I believe out of the Stormwatch, Tara took a bit of a beating, but that was about... I think...
She got better.
I was unconscious, but I'm fine now. It's fine.
Exactly.
It's all good.
A quick
Took a
judicious
beating,
lay on
got-
hands brought everyone back to life. It was fine. No one actually died.
Took a beating, got better, but I don't think anyone else even took damage.
I took damage from falling off the goat.
Sometimes you get better.
But none of us saw it, so it doesn't count.
Right.
A quick reminder, just in case people still need to update their sheets. The bag of gold that the giant gave Rin.
Yes.
Everyone gets 50 gold pieces and 15 silver pieces. 15
Okay.
silver pieces.
That's right. The giant kind of threw a sack of coins at the closest person and was like, "Hey, thanks," and then ran off with the loot. And then also
Of a tasty goat for dinner.
yes.
50 gold and 15 silver. Got it.
And then a Vrock showed up and made off with the horse.
It was
which-
a very chaotic night. Lots and lots of tarot pulls, lots
Yes.
and lots of mayhem.
That horse was probably a fascist. It's fine.
Yeah. The fascist horse.
The worst Mr. Ed reboot.
Yep.
You said 50 gold and how much silver?
15.
15, 5 gold.
50 gold.
Okay.
15 silver.
Okay.
Thank you for the clarifications, because I didn't even
What
have that up in my
is-
notes.
I had to scroll back to double check the numbers. Yeah. There was 2 spare silver that Rin
Mhm.
ended up keeping, but yeah.
Okay. We'll go to this one. Yeah, there we go. And our music partners at Tabletop RPG Music. Tabletop RPG Music. Hey, there we go. Okay. As the dust settles on the battlefield of the Northern Ride, Webwood Road, there is that intense fog that had rolled in at the start of the fight. The fog was patchy in places, but it now kind of lingers through this forest. You can see that there is a dark canopy of shadow that seems to, as described last session, in similar fashion to the Mirkwood in Tolkien's world, that sort of has an oppressive heaviness to it. The air itself being thick with fatigue and shadow and sadness, almost disorienting in a way. Between the fog and the shadows and the thick canopy of webs and decaying trees, in the midst of the blood and the sinew and bodies of rebels and the more extremist faction of rebels that had sort of combined together as part of this forward caravan, lie strewn across the battlefield, the road, the embankments on either side of the road, hewn or heft up against tree trunks. There is a stillness to the carnage, to the visceral violence that just transpired here. Your mind starts to swim with whether or not your mind starts to swim with questions of reality, but what is real and what is not. You're almost stunned or stupefied by the atmosphere around you, in a daze, if you will. And you can see shapes beginning to emerge from the fog, slender elvish shapes that seem to appear from the ether, sort of shimmering into existence, shapes in the fog, some descending from trees, others darting to and fro across tree branches, some 10, 20, or 30 feet above you. As they begin to appear from the fog, you all feel the sense of dampness, of moisture. And before your minds can readjust, or as your minds are adjusting to the oppressive, thick atmosphere that lies heavy in this accursed wood, you realize that it is raining. As your eyes are drawn to the bodies that litter the road and the forms that are now approaching you and to each other, as time almost seems to slow, the rain continues to fall. And Ren, as described before, you can see an exhausted Jeb that had introduced himself as Jeb, the halfling with the necklace made of drowish ears, trying to crawl away from the battlefield and the fog and the rain, as the rain now makes puddles of blood and mud in the muck at your feet and in the ditches of the road. And as the rain intensifies and becomes steady, Not terribly oppressive, but enough to set the mood. Time almost slowing to a crawl, you can see a strawish woman with auburn hair that comes out from the side of her hood. Her hood itself sparkling with this beautiful, dazzling, intricate weave pattern on the back of her hood that forms perfect points, almost like armored mithril, forming the patterns of webs. The attire and accoutrement of the elves here, you can see some of their more slender features, how they move elegant and graceful. The dark purple skin of the drow, the grayish and dark purple hues, you recognize as the distant cousins of the Sevakorar. And as this feminine individual over here, this figure whose attire stands out from the rest, slowly puts one foot in front of the other, seeming unfazed or to almost walk over the puddles that are forming, causing slight ripples in the puddles as she walks, almost walking or gliding over them. She puts a single boot in between the shoulder blades of the halfling as he tries to crawl away through the mud, and pushes down. As she does, she buries his face in the muck. He lets out a scream. She is not intending to kill, but to simply hold here. She takes out her bow and simply notches an arrow. A sharp whistle emanates from her lips, and as it does, you all feel this surge of energy come back to you. Like 2 shots of espresso back to back, that warmth in your chest, time begins to return and flow. As you feel a sense of normalcy return to the world around you, the existential dread and reflections that were almost forced upon you are replaced by awareness and alertness. And you can now see almost 24 arrows pointed in your general direction. Not notched back entirely, but enough to let you know that the superior force does have you in their sights. Sort of at the ready, in the ready position, awaiting your next moves.
I don't believe they're superior. I think we can take them, guys.
The superior
Same.
numerical force. But you may be right.
Upon seeing the arrows in our general direction, Thamus will just hold up her shield.
Okay.
Not threateningly, just not necessarily threateningly, just prepared to block arrows.
Some of the elbows knock back a little bit as you do. Now in a more aggressive position. You hear like this sort of the tension of bows being pulled taut against bowstrings.
Rin pulls out the badge that she got from Marissa.
Yup.
Was that her name?
So?
The gal that we met in the...
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Marissa
have-
Valeth.
Mhm.
It's
Yes,
in the
there
notes
she
now.
is.
Fantastic.
I actually found
Anyway,
her
the badge we got from our dragon Marissa Valeth.
Mm-hmm.
Rin shows it in her hand for a second and then does the salute. Stands at attention, salutes with a hand over her heart, and says might and majesty. Sorry, I was reading from notes. Might and majesty. We're Stormwatch.
The woman that has her boot in the back of this halfling turns to you and... The new slogan of the Queen. And is that who y'all represent?
That is correct, yes.
It's about time that our cousin has sent reinforcements to this forest that has been plagued by outsiders and usurpers. 32 years we have been living amongst the wilds, against our will, forced from our homes, 32 years it took for the Queen and the Crown to send reinforcements.
That is an unfairness that should never have been levied upon you.
On that we agree.
How can we help?
One of your number said that they wish to claim the life of this halfling. Is there a
Who was
particular
that?
reason?
I'm sorry, quick pause. I don't remember who said that. Who said that?
Simeon.
Simeon.
Simeon shouted, the halfling's mine, I believe.
Yes, but unfortunately, Simeon is currently, sir, not appearing in this scene.
Sure,
I'm
but
still
Rin
walking
would have
back
known it
from,
was you.
from a goat incident.
Oh,
Rin would
right.
have known.
Well,
So I'm sorry, can you repeat your question, DM?
she had simply asked about the member of your party who had expressed interest in disposing of the halfling, but it's about that time that Simeon does appear after the goat
Looking,
incident.
A little worse for wear, I
Yes.
assume.
A
Muddied
little,
and despondent.
muddied.
a little out of breath,
Um,
but nothing that y'all have not trained for with cardio, etc. You're soldiers
Although
after all.
Seeing the situation with the arrows drawn and knocked, or at least knocked and ready, Simeon will be circumspect on his approach.
Rin
He
gestures
notices.
towards him as he approaches. Speak of the devil and he shall appear. Get it? Because he's a tiefling.
Yeah, you don't see.
Yeah.
You don't seem to be
I roll.
alarming. You don't seem to be alarming anyone as you approach, which is the good news.
Does Simeon actually look hurt? Like, look damaged? Like, look like he needs healing?
Simeon, are you hurt?
Not particularly.
remember
I mean, Simeon
officially.
is hurt, but it was like 5 hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then I'll save the cure wounds for later.
How's Tara looking?
Oh,
Sarah,
it's
I
Tara.
think, is full.
Tara
yeah,
got
'cause-
the last of the Tara ate lay on hands.
I did.
Uh,
It was
Rin-
good.
Healing
Rin
spirit,
brought her
if I recall.
Rin brought her up to like 12, and then Thamus was like, "Here, have it," and Tara got bumped like all the way up from lay on hands, because paladins rule.
I think actually Tara feels better now than she did when we got here.
Would
refreshed.
be surprised.
Looking towards Simeon, Rin calls out, "Simeon, I believe you laid claim, yeah?" And she gestures towards the halfling that is currently pinned.
Sorry, it's a bit dark out here. What are we talking about?
Rin whistles and
No.
Uh,
Simeon is working his way back and is a little uncertain as to what exactly has happened. Definitely
Sure.
sees that there's no longer any active combat, but our halfling friend is still sort of around the bend and not
Yeah.
visible to him.
Rin whistles and summons her dancing lights, for illusory lanterns, sort of light the path to where she is with the authority figure and the halfling. So I hope you find your way in the dark if you need
Okay.
it.
You
And
can
if you don't, then
see.
it doesn't matter.
You can see those 3 globules sort of start to light up.
They look like wee lanterns.
Yes.
Simeon will sort of approach at a respectful distance and sort of see what's going on and sort of shrug in response and say, "It appears you have caught him before me, so he is at your mercy."
As you kind of make your way over, you can see the scene. And she just kind of looks at Rin, looks at Simeon. And you are all agents of the Crown. I'm assuming, here together.
That's correct, yes.
Very well. And she just kind of looks down at this guy, this halfling, and just kind of very quickly notches an arrow, pulls it back, lets one loose into the back of his knee. As he just kind of and lets out a shriek. She then just kind of stuffs his face back down into the mud. We have special plans for this one. And just kind of picks him up off the ground and just starts dragging him back this way. Towards the center. The rest of y'all may appear. Come, parley. Let us know what the crown has to offer us 32 years after we have been evicted from our homes. May not seem like a long time to elves, but knowing that it is cousins and kin that rule does not make it sting any less that we have had to exile ourselves in the darkness of the forest and the shadows amidst the treetops and the webs deep in the woods, away from our homes, away from Easildale, awaiting to reclaim the Shadow Tower.
Well, I believe our purpose is to help you reclaim the Shadow Tower and to reclaim Easildale.
At this point, simply the Shadow Tower will do. We will use whatever means at our disposal to reclaim Shadowdale. I am told the Crown has special weapons in their arsenal that may be of particular use to us. Whatever needs to be done, we will evict these usurpers from our home, and we will reclaim the Shadow Tower as a prime objective.
Sounds like a plan. That's what we're here for.
Out of character, I want to make sure my notes are lined up correctly here. I believe she is referring to the Dragonblight.
Yes, likely.
However, with the lore reset, I don't remember if Avina and Castalia and Baneslayer are all folks that these people would know, or if that was someone else.
The drow from Tilberton? From
The Nothic.
The Nothic, yes. That would likely be someone that they would probably know. Not Tilberton, New Arcos. Well, yes. Formerly Tilberton, now
Formerly
the ruins of
Tilberton.
New Arcos, yes.
Back before.
It is... All of those names would still carry over. You could try and see Avinia Dalhrathir, formerly Avinia Dernive, yes. Thank you.
Of course,
But-
Simeon doesn't remember what he was going to say about that, though.
Because I'm looking at the new notes that I had overwritten over the old notes, and I had a brain fart there for a second, like Avinia Dalhrathir, formerly
Somebody,
formerly notes erased. But yes, and
our dragon has a plan for helping with the taking back the tower, but we were trying to coordinate a time and trying to find our allies within House Dalhrathir, and also trying to bring home a few wayward family members.
well, that is good to hear. And also your advisor has been here for some time.
Were we aware of that?
Nope.
Did we know that
Advisor.
before now?
You should have sent a message.
He claims he reports to the crown personally. Or at least to the R-Dragon.
Advisor.
What did he say his name was? Just for the sake of safety.
R-Dragon Lucian.
I don't remember that person at all. Is that intentional? Should I remember them?
I think
And she
I
just
do.
kind of whistles, and kind of emerging from the shadows, you can see an individual wearing the colors of the Sevakorar, the red and gold, with a lapel clasp and all. It looks human from what you can see, as a masculine figure slowly reveals himself, pulls his hood back, and emerges from the shadows of the trees here. And you can see sort of a very handsome man with sort of grayish white hair immediately presents a scroll bearing the seal, the Sevakorar, to Simeon, because Simeon is the closest.
I do not
Tarot
remember this
card pulls, y'all. Tarot card pulls.
Oh no, he's hot.
And you can see that he has sort of like an undercoat that sort of has sort of a dull, dusty gray and then some whites. But the cloak that he wears bears the colors of the red and gold. And I know Avalon knows who this is because she's in multiple games, but that is above game. So Avalon can be like, hey, wait a minute. But this individual kind of just runs his fingers through his hair and kind of adjusts after having his hood up for some time, and presents the sealed scroll bearing the wax seal of the new queen to Simeon. Again, Simeon being the closest. The halfling kind of tries to get away and tries to squirm away as this drow is distracted, but without even looking back, she just puts a boot into the knee with which the arrow has been lodged and just twists it at an awkward angle as the halfling lets out another shout and stops his futile attempts to crawl away in the mud.
Clem is going to start going through the wagon. Maybe just try to look for stuff because he wants to distract himself from this attractive man.
Fair
Tara
enough.
will help him.
Ren just kind of stands at attention behind Simeon, and just waits to see what happens, what the man says, what Simeon does, etc.
Okay, and Tara, what are you doing? I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I was going to say I'm just going to help Clem go through the wagon.
Okay, all right. So Tara makes her way over to the wagon to help Clem.
Famous will make her way towards Simeon and Rin. Again, just kind of being watchful.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough.
And shields away at this point, now that we've determined there is no actual threat.
I'll say this is more of a take 10. Sifting through the rubble, Tara and Clem will come back to y'all. You kind of make your way over under the careful, watchful eye of the drow here in the trees and in the shadows and amidst the tree line. And they very nonchalantly let you begin rummaging through the remnants of the carriage that had been smashed by a large boulder that was hucked by a giant, thanks to the tarot cards. So, Tara, go ahead. Tara and Thamus, go ahead and move your tokens wherever you would want them to be positioned. I know, Clem, I already see you in the cart, kind of rummaging through the debris and detritus. And Simeon, this sort of sealed scroll is handed directly to you. Again, you being the closest.
Simeon will go ahead and accept it and sort of check the seal, make sure it matches what he's seen before.
Okay. Go ahead and make a history check for me, if you wouldn't mind. Thamus kind of positioning herself in the middle. As you're kind of checking out the scroll to make sure everything checks out and looks legit. Thamus kind of positioning herself as the muscle. The drow here finally pulls her hood back a bit, and you can see her auburn hair as she sizes all of you up. Sort of some of you for the first time, really kind of taking stock in the 5 of you and your battle prowess, your intent, looking you up and down, almost looking through you. She seems satisfied, and she says, I am Evandrixia Dalhrathir. I am the lead scout, the sentinel of these woods, if you will. The Nightblade of Mercidial, the guardian of these parts.
Simeon got a 12 on that history check.
Okay, looks legit.
In that case,
I am Rin of Stormwatch, formerly of Savosa.
I see. You are no stranger to the suffering of war if you are from Savosa.
That is unfortunately true, yes. My father is currently in Baraktal because of it.
No one could have predicted. Least of all, not us. We believed their goal to be power and conquest, the seizure of territory in the north. When they took Isildale, they simply exiled us into the woods, into the shadows and the caves and the systems from whence our ancestors came. We are just as comfortable here as we are in Isildale and amidst the Shadow Tower, but we made the mistake of inexplicably linking both Isildale and the Shadow Tower together. We became too comfortable.
The North held its own at one point, in this war at great cost. I have no doubt that you and your people can do the same with our help.
Indeed, a member of the Winter Wolves, and had we the technology of the first Gnomish Grenadiers, we too may have been able to hold back the storm, the other storm, as it swept across this land 32 years ago. What happened at Savosa to you, Rin, and to your family, you have my condolences. At the very least, they made the mistake of letting us live, to retreat, tactically, temporarily, into lands and caverns with which we are most familiar. For those, and I mean no offense, of the shorter-lived races, I can only imagine the horror of having to leave your homes even for a year. And for that you have my condolences and my sympathy.
Simeon goes ahead and breaks the seal and opens the scroll.
Okay. It says a lot of sort of the very standard, it's sort of a long rolled up scroll of flowery language saying, herein lies the official documentation and proof that Lucian of the 3rd house of Frostfar, etc., etc. Apparently an individual from Frostfar. Simply, there is a lot of vagaries in the details, but it's official, possibly a code name of some kind, possibly a cover, but everything here appears to be legitimate. It is the official royal seal, and it is identifying him as an R-Dragon of the High Tower, which is sort of the organization of Magi that operates, has been operating for some time. It was the kind of what existed before the Stormwatch, before the Aeroth Takal, which is a newer organization of mages that Nazgris belongs to. The High Tower was in existence for centuries, and he bears the credentials of an agent of the High Tower, owned, sort of operated and run by the kings of old, if you will. Still legitimate, and with the blessing of the crown, here at your service.
With all of the additional extra and long, flowery language, does Simeon detect a hint of written thieves' cant?
You do not detect anything hidden, any hidden messages. It seems very bureaucratic, like pretty standard bureaucratic language, nothing that would necessarily be hidden. Because you are familiar with thieves' cant, and I would say you're fairly certain that this is not thieves' cant. It's sort of bureaucratic language, and you can, just by reading it, it almost gives you, it's almost exhausting to have to go through the very bureaucratic language and trying to make sense of it. You're like, no, it's just bureaucracy.
Oh, God, legalese.
Yes, legalese and royalese, if you will.
May I see that?
Yeah, looks legit to me. Greetings.
Simeon's like, I need a nap.
Greetings.
Is this
My name is Lucian.
Sorry, I was just gonna ask.
Oh, that's okay.
Go ahead.
So the High Tower is separate from the magic order that Nasris is part of. Like, there's different.
Correct.
Okay.
So if you recall, before we made the transition, there was
Yeah.
the Sable Accord.
Yeah.
And essentially, the High Tower would be the equivalent of the Sable Accord, for example, an ancient organization of mages that had existed for centuries, that was operated and built to serve the kings of old, the elvish kings of old, the forebears of Queen Valeria before she came to power. And when Queen Valeria came to power, in the midst of a war that she had inherited from her ancestors, she decided to spark up several new organizations, many of which are the organizations that appear in Heaven's Fire, the Order of the Blazing Shield, the Eroth Takal, the Dragon Keepers, the Velath Telvath, the Queen's Blades, and also initially popping up in the last decade, an organization of mercenaries and traders, merchants, and support services in service to the crown. Their methods and practices questionable, known as Raven's Guard, an organization, a coster, a trading coster. Even over a decade, many people began referring to them as the Syndicate. It is another organization that all seem to have been created during the war in service to the crown and created in some way either parallel to or by Queen Valeria herself. So there's a lot of different organizations and a lot of interesting things that are happening during the latter years of this war that Queen Valeria has brought to bear to try and end this 100 years of conflict.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Of course. Hey, I love lore. I can talk about lore all day.
Oh, I know. Got an encyclopedia.
Yep.
Ren, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, just can I read through the scroll? Ren's a bit more practiced at flowery language and stuff. Is there anything that I pick up as duplicitous or anything of that nature?
No, it's very, and you're confident. It's very, very general, very bureaucratic, very standard. Everything is written exactly how it's supposed to be written.
Okay. When you were like reinforcing how flowery and bureaucratic it was, I thought it was like it was meant to sound that way to avoid detection. Like people wouldn't read it. It's like a fucking terms of user agreement kind of thing. So I didn't. That's why I was like, is it real? Can I tell?
Yeah, no, it's a really good question. It's a really good question. But I'm gonna go ahead and just put this Two of Fiends back in the deck. We're not gonna worry about that.
I was fucking right.
I'll put
I was sitting here, I was
Killer
like, what is
words.
that? And then you mentioned Frostfart, and I was like, aha!
Yes, it is very general, but he does address your concerns immediately, and he says, I'm Lucian, the third house of Frostar. Obviously, that is a cover, but I am a deep cover here in the woods. I am an agent of the High Tower. I reported directly to the last king. I appear as human, but I am not. I am an advisor, a secret weapon, if you will, a wizard of sorts, a mage, an old mage.
Well, we are glad to meet your acquaintance.
I am
As
happy.
I said, I am Rin. And Rin is currently wearing her elf face as well.
Okay.
For the last couple of sessions, she has looked like a high elf. Hair is still red, but it's like a gentle wave instead of her usual tight curls, and she's dressed a little more femininely than usual. Otherwise, basically looks like her, just like elf version.
Clem, while he's rummaging through this wagon, will look between his legs and ask, how are you going to advise us or help us?
You seek to oust the usurpers. I am here to assist with magical means of strategy. Old playbooks, tried and true. Whatever services I can provide as an archmage, I am happy to do so. I have been assisting the elves of Isildale and of the Shadow Tower with securing their own borders. The shadow and mist that now falls over this wood, that is in part a magical enchantment that was created by myself. The elves and their own magic, with their own mages and druids, have helped us come together to form a masterwork of enchantment magic that now falls over this forest. You felt it yourselves, I'm sure. The feeling as if time and reality is bending to your will, the accentuation of certain senses, the empathy and the emptiness at the same time that you felt for the corpses of the slain, the sheer magnitude and reality of death, of existence, of this world, of this plane. It's oppressive and also introspective. It is designed to disarm in more ways than one. It is a magical shield that shrouds these woods, and when one lingers too long, one may find themselves lost amidst the shadow that we have wrought in these woods. A necessary defense mechanism, of course, as attacks have indeed been deterred. Attackers are at a disadvantage, and those who we are uncertain of where their loyalties lie are subject to this magical enchantment. The elves here are protected from it by the amulets and talisman they wear that have been specially fashioned to aid with this particular magic. I am certain we can specially fashion some for you as well. As for the other high-ranking members of the Stormwatch, we are happy to provide whatever we can.
Well, you've been here a while, and no offense, but I guess if you're good at all this magic stuff and everything, why have there been issues with taking back the tower and stuff? I mean, since you said you know magic so well and stuff like that. Not saying you don't know magic, like, you know so many different things of magic and you've been around a while, I guess. Do you have new creative ideas for how to deal with this? Are there things that haven't worked at all, or I guess what's the deal? Why has it been so difficult to take it back?
My friend, I am only one mage, and were it that mages were invincible, we should have been out of this pickle a long time ago. He's just basically doing the Gandalf thing. Like
while Clem is berating the mage for
Clem is
being-
gonna scowl for sure. 'Cause
That's
that is
fair,
a
that's fair.
non-answer.
Yeah.
Famous will use that as a wonderful opportunity to properly introduce herself because she realized that she didn't already.
what was the leader drow woman's name?
Evandrixia.
Avendrixia, thank you.
Of course.
My lady, I was wondering if there was any more immediate aid that your people might need. If there's anything short term that we could assist with while plans are made to retake the tower.
Lucian here tells me that upon your arrival, there is a large host not far behind.
This is true. Do we have a sense for how far behind they likely are?
Maybe.
It's like a couple days.
Yeah,
right?
about 5
thought it-
days, half a
I was
10 day.
gonna
5 days.
Say, I thought it was like 7-ish.
Yeah, I mean, Simeon just sort of nods and
I've heard 2, 5, and 7. Is it
5
5
sounds
days?
better.
5.
5 sounds
Okay.
better.
Yes, by our estimates, it should be about 5 days before they arrive. So there's time to deal with any more pressing issues before then, if there are any.
Did you pass the shrine of General Nacilier on the way here? This is Lucian.
We did, right? That was one of the
Yes.
things we came across?
we did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Indeed.
pissed in a
Indeed
Fey
we did.
crossing.
May not be.
Do you say that out loud?
I mean, it's very Clem to have done
Yes,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
That is not something I would advise my furry friend. Fey crossings are dangerous, and there's perhaps an angry Fey who, well, either very much enjoyed that or now has a personal vendetta against you. The Fey is... Though I detected that you have a connection there yourself, I'm
Yeah.
sure you know it is not necessarily wise to stoke the ire of the Fae.
True, but if I don't stumble across them again, right?
This
If
is
I
true.
do, then from where I'm from, usually it's equal exchange kind of thing. So I piss on them there or whatever, and they hopefully do something of a bit of an equal prank.
Remind
For
me
the
to
next
pitch
3
my
days.
sleeping
I am
bag
counting on
away
it.
from Clem.
I believe that
For the next 3 days, every
Yes.
single bird that sees you poops on your head.
Mhm.
That's not equal.
God.
Oh yeah, the Stormlord. Yeah, I forgot about the Stormlord too. Not that that matters.
At
And
this point, Famous will start taking a look around, actually surveying the area, kind of trying to get a feel for what we can do in the immediate short term to aid,
Okay.
help with any kind of preparations and whatnot if anybody's actively hurt and so on and so forth.
So no one appears to be actively hurt, and it seems like there is nothing other than a crossing of tactical value here, Thamus. It's likely that wherever they're operating from is somewhere else, sort of off the road, off the beaten path. And for Terra and Clem, sifting through the supplies, you find lots of weapons. You find about, let's see, I'll type this all in the chat. So this I'll type in the chat because it's kind of loot. And also, if somebody can confirm, I believe it's the 17th day of Eocasta. I believe the 16th day of Eocasta was a free day of travel, and then the 17th was the day that we had arrived on.
I did want to mention I would probably use my it's not a detect magic, but it's like a magical sense thing to see if I can sense any magic with my... I'll just read what it is.
Ooh,
Even though I
yes.
forget how specific. Yeah, as I'm sifting through, it's kind of like I'm just being all perceptive with my nose.
Okay. Let's go ahead and link that for me so I
It
take a peek.
is a magic awareness. Know the location of any spell or magic item within 60 feet.
Okay. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Yes. Fortunately, well, unfortunately, fortunately, there is nothing magic in the cart. The cart does have, and I'll tell you exactly what you find here. Just give me a second. Lots of weapons. Nothing particularly magic, but you do find 2 bags of black powder. 2
Oh, really?
10-pound bags of black
20
powder.
Pounds of black powder?
Yes.
Oh,
Like big heavy
goody.
bags.
Oh, goody.
20 short bows. 20 short swords. 40 daggers.
Try to pocket those things of powder.
120 arrows. 20 hand axes. And 10 battle axes. As well as 500 feet of hempen rope. 10 bedrolls. 20 water skins. And a box of 17 rations that fell out of the bags and boxes that the giants were taking away.
And this caravan was the enemies, right? It wasn't.
Yep, this was an enemy caravan.
Oh, they got a lot of shit for.
Yeah, it's stacked in there pretty tight, and the giant, when the giant came to confiscate to sort of raid this cart, because I love playing giants that way. It's just I came up with that in Heaven's Fire, and it just kind of stuck, and I'm like, I love the idea that they just run in and just take stuff and just do raids, and they're not trying to like really harm anybody. They're like bandits. Giants, they're bandits, but they're just
smash and grab.
giants. Yeah, exactly.
Very good to smash and grab, you see. We smash and then we grab.
Yeah. I mean, they're big, and it you roll a 50-50 chance of avoiding an unruly mob if you just come in and smash and grab.
Yeah, and I mean, you're a big bulky guy anyway, so what
Yeah.
are these little people gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah.
We
you
use
know?
the rock, we do the smash, and we take the rock and we go to grab.
Yeah. Exactly. And then they're even polite, like the thanks, Sadie, with the I love that. Adorable giant boys. So Tara and Clem, y'all find this, and it makes sense. Some of the short swords and short bows and daggers and hand axes are a little smashed, some would have to be repaired, but generally speaking, that is the amount of stuff that you find. It's a weapons caravan, and I think it's funny because Tara and Clem each have a moment where they kind of at the same time, you both open these 2 bags of black powder sort of at the same time, and then kind of
I imagine we just like look down and then look at each other and then like look down and look at each other, and we're both kind of thinking, I wonder what we can blow up.
yeah, right.
And I am
So-
immediately looking for where Thamus is to see if she notices or not. And we'll just grab the bag. one for me, one for Tara.
A couple of sessions ago, when we first came across these people, I wanted to toss my lit torch into the back of the cart as like the opening move of the combat. That would have been so bad. The only reason I did
That's a wrap, everybody.
Famous roared before I could do that, and then like the bows came out and elves revealed themselves.
Could you
But I was like, I was
imagine?
gonna toss the torch in, and light the whole thing on fire.
The roar
those
that
weapons
saved
just
the actual
flying.
play. Yeah.
The
Amazing.
like swords and axes that would have just been flying like shrapnel at us.
Oh, that would have been so cool,
So
though.
by being completely reckless myself,
You saved us from our own recklessness.
Yes.
And now we're taking these bags of gunpowder behind your back.
However,
For no reason.
yes.
Wink, wink.
By the way,
That's my little-
the
my little nose.
my
little magic nose.
Can anyone confirm? I believe it's the 17th day of Eocasta. On the 15th day, you were at the Shrine and Memorial of General Nacilier, and I believe you had a free, sort of a very steady day of travel. You crossed the bridge, and then I believe you're on the 17th day, sort of afternoon. Does that sound right to everyone?
That sounds correct, yeah. I don't remember taking specific notes, but
Okay.
I have specific notes for what happened what days,
Okay.
but I don't have like a calendar day, so that sounds accurate enough.
Okay. It is the 17th day of Eocasta, which is springtime. And all right. You had crossed the Shadowspan Bridge. Okay. Now that I have put that card back, we have another one. Ooh. That could be interesting. That
Yeah, we
actually...
got 2 more pulls.
That could be very interesting.
while Clem and Tara are looting the cart, Simeon will step closer to Lucian and just sort of whisper to him, basically a passphrase in the thieves' cant of the Raven's Guard.
Mm-hmm.
Just sort of, to confirm that he sounds like he knows what he's talking about, and then also ask him the high table. Have you spoken recently with our colleagues in the tower?
In the
No, high tower was
yes.
him.
Yeah, he's the high tower.
Let me get my organization straight here.
That's
I
okay.
apologize.
Tel Pelantirith.
He-
Tel Pelantirith is the tower of the Eros to call.
Okay. Well, because it was because Nazgris is on the high tower, and he's the other organization, the older organization. What was the older What was Lucian's organization?
Yep. So there was the high tower. Nazgris was a part of the high tower, but he's sort of commanding both the high tower and the Eros to call as far as military operations. So technically, Nazgris is in the same organization, or they should know each other. They should have come from the same organization. So yes. So there's the high tower, and though the Eros to call the Dragon Keepers are a newer organization, Nazgris is responsible for sort of the operation of battle mages and sort of the deployment of battle mages from both the high tower and from the Eros to call the Dragon Keepers. So Nazgris is sort of the chosen magical general, if you will, the sort of general battle mage.
So Simeon will sort of just lean in after he gives that passphrase.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also say, so we have you spoken recently with Nazgris? He has some interesting ideas.
Yes, indeed he does. And also, by the way, Clem, with your magical awareness, with your sense, there is something other than the weapons. Ivandrixia herself seems to have magical weapons. Her weapons seem to glow with enchantment magic. And drifting your nose and your eyes adjusting to that sort of glow of magic, you can see that the text writing on the scroll that Simeon is holding that was given to him by Lucian is glowing with like this orange searing glow.
Does it, because I know the School of Magic, so does it have a School of
Ooh.
Magic for the scroll?
Illusion.
Illusion!
Yeah, buddy!
Is it some fucking Doctor Who psychic paper shit?
I'm going to... Okay, but it has like an orangish glow.
Sort of like a fiery orange. Yes.
What languages? Nope, I don't. Who has the contract, the scroll thing?
I believe Simeon has it now, right?
I think Rin is currently holding it because she wanted to read it after Simeon.
Hey, Rin, why is that thing all... What's it doing? Is it, like, making pictures and stuff like that? What kind of illusions are on that page?
Rin looks over at Clem quizzically, looks back at the paper. None that are apparent. Are there illusions on this? She directs towards Lucian.
Lucian just kind of looks at it and just lets out a sigh. As a matter of fact, there are.
Can you change the illusion so it looks like there's, like, pictures and stuff on it? Maybe that'll make the language and stuff all easier for people, you know? That's
No.
an idea.
No, I don't think I will. Sorry. I had to do the meme. And he just looks...
Is this...
He just looks over to Evandrixia and just kind of waves his hand. And you can see her eyes kind of flash. And he kind of starts to... Just this cloud of smoke just rises from the ground. I love tarot cards.
Did you use this to fabricate documents?
You asked the question and there's like this sort of cloud of smoke and you can see Evandrixia just kind of start batting the smoke and you can see the elves all kind of blinking rapidly for a second and the smoke kind of turns to...
DM,
Yes.
I have 1/3 level spell slot left.
Okay,
Can I attempt to dispel the smoke?
you can try.
I would like to if I can. Give me a moment.
Okay.
So, casting it at 3rd level, any spell of 3rd level or lower will end, or an equivalent, enchantment or whatever. Anyway, if it's higher level than that, if it's a 4th level or whatever, I have to roll a charisma check, and the DC is equal to 10 plus the spell's level. So...
Okay, go ahead and make a charisma check for me.
That's a natural 20 for a total of 24.
Oh, God.
As the smoke begins to dissipate and his form appears once more, he just...
It's very rude to leave in the middle of a conversation.
He just extends, just kind of takes a hand and his eyes start to glow with like red fire. And kind of twists his wrist and sort of shadow flame, this sort of roiling flame begins to appear in his hand and it starts to scream. And there is this tormented wail that erupts from his hands. Hang on, I have to check his character sheet. Give me 1 second.
Clem's gonna raise his hands like, whoa, wait. I didn't say anything to offend you, did I? I just wanted to see if you can make pictures on the thing.
The ground below your feet starts to rumble. And the dead
Okay.
that you had recently slain begin to animate themselves and rise.
I fucked up.
Bitch!
I fucked up.
And I would like everyone to roll initiative, please.
No!
And that is going to be
Oh god.
that is going to be an inverse 2 of dragons, and the undead that was also inverse. As the ground begins to shake and rumble below your feet,
So Tara
like a
got that
miniature
gunpowder.
earthquake.
I got you. Simeon, we always roll the same initiative.
It's fate, but you've got a higher dex.
Well then. That was certainly interesting.
Well then, indeed. And I have spell slots left for nonsense.
There's a few things that are happening right now. I have to pull in a stat block here.
So I have a quick question.
Yes.
For no particular reason. When we found
Okay.
You know.
when we found the gunpowder, we didn't happen to find any like fuses or anything, right? It's just a bag of gunpowder.
Raw
and then the
gunpowder.
weapons. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
okay.
I got you.
Just
I got
checking.
you.
Oh, this is going to be
Got, like, a
very
couple
interesting.
magical effects. As long as I don't hit poison, I'm sure
I'm
I
about
can
to
get
prevent
it.
Key's birth. Let's go.
No, you're not.
I know, but it would be funny.
I'm gonna make it cinematic, but there's a quote from Gandalf in Lord of the Rings where he says, "This foe is beyond any of you." But there's other stuff happening. Luckily for y'all, he's not interested in fighting because he has things to do, like go to
And
go
12
back to
zombies.
Frostfar. Yes.
Isn't he an advisor for us? I thought he was an ally. Why would he lie to us?
I didn't have an end game when I dispelled the smoke. I just wanted to fuck with him. This is great, guys. We're doing great.
Keep that piece of paper because I want to see what it actually says.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. It's great.
The ground below your feet begins to quake. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw, please. As an earthquake level rumble ripples through the surrounding environs.
I'm not as bad at these as I thought.
Okay, pass.
Hell yeah.
Except when I roll a nat
Oh.
one.
Does
I rolled a
my
24.
do I get a advantage on my dex save for danger sense?
You cannot see it, unfortunately. It is below the earth.
Okay.
But Simeon passed.
I rolled a 22.
Tara passed. Okay, pass. Thamus, you fall prone and take 4 points of bludgeoning damage.
Do I have a way to ignore that? Is the real question.
You fall prone. Take 3 points of bludgeoning damage.
I actually do have lucky footwork because I got
Ooh,
rabbit
okay,
paws. So I'm
okay.
gonna use my reaction if I fail to roll a
Mhm.
d4, which will add 3. So I got a 15.
That'll just succeed. Yep.
Oh, thank God.
DC
Okay.
15 dexterity saving throw from the earthquake. All right. So Themis fail, Simeon success, Terra success, Clem fail, and
You said I take what, 5 points of damage?
4 points of bludgeoning damage. Did I get everyone?
Cool.
And Rin rolled high too. Yeah, so I think everyone's
22,
good.
yeah.
And you can see as this earthquake is splitting the earth apart, you can now see the cause as the road itself seems to have been built upon or atop the body of a creature, the decaying skeletal remains of which now burst through the road. Tarot cards!
Who pulled this tarot card?
I think
We need to stop this. We can't do this anymore.
If with luck we can blame Anna for this one.
I'll take the blame. Go for it. It's my fault.
And what appears
Oh,
to be
great,
the image.
fantastic.
I'll go to Dracolich.
There.
Cool.
What appears to be the image of a decaying dragon of a wyvern of some kind. A dragon, this draconic figure begins to burst forth from the earth itself, wings beginning to crack up from the dirt and mud as the elves that are with you all take aim, that are going to act on initiative count 20 once more at this adult blue Dracolich. And there are also zombies as well.
Could I see the initiative tracker if you don't mind?
Yep. Let's see. Zomboys.
Oh shit, I rolled low on that too. Great.
Once again, I have underestimated the tarot cards, so I have to bring a bunch of stuff in, so bear with me just for a moment. While I pull in
No, you are absolutely
zombies.
fine. Because the one combat wasn't enough.
Of course not.
Tarot cards.
I
Ghoul.
could have just let him go. I'm sorry. A little sorry.
No, screw that. No.
We have 20
Keep 'em
pounds
around.
of black powder. Let's blow this thing
I
up.
stand by what I said too. It is rude to leave in the middle of a conversation.
Zombie.
That's
And I
fine.
want
I think
some-
if I just apologize, it'll all be okay.
Granted. God,
Ash zombies. Cool.
God damn it. Aura of protection doesn't help me on a nat 1.
Okay.
Oh, how far are you from me? Oh, never mind. You're too far.
One moment while we replace all of the dead bodies with live ones.
Yeah.
Well, undead ones.
All right. Zombie. Ghoul. Zombie. Oops.
I have all sorts of.
Ghoul. And a regular zombie. Maybe not a regular zombie. Another ghoul.
Should have done that before.
All right.
I have 2 spell slots left.
Let's roll in it for the
Kill it.
Dracolich. And let's roll in it for Lucian.
Yay, the Dracolich is after me.
I owe that guy
And-
money.
Okay. Now I need the ghouls.
I will
Put
say,
on the
him
chan layer.
randomly summoning 20 zombies and a dragon to fight us does not lend credence to the idea that he couldn't have retaken the tower. I'm just saying,
Oh, shit.
Clem was right.
Yes, well,
Right?
That's all I'm saying.
because he's here to corrupt everything. He's not actually here to help.
Dick. I knew it. Dick.
Excuse me, what is that in the initiative?
Eh,
It's
we'll
not
figure something out later.
Don't look at. Don't worry about it.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That would only worry Simeon if he could read.
Yeah.
If he could read, he wouldn't be a fighter.
Excuse me.
Jesus Christ. All right.
That's
Oh,
sass.
God. That is.
Intelligence doesn't have to be a dump stat for fighters.
He's the one who implied that he couldn't read. All I did was yes and.
Oh, okay.
This GIF looks like it's from Plants vs. Zombies.
It in fact is.
We make such good decisions, y'all. I'm proud of us.
Hey, we're gonna clear the tarot cards.
One
until-
brain cell and we left it with Nazgris.
Tamus kind of resents that statement.
I'm sorry, initiative 29? Who do that? Who rolled an initiative 29?
Wait, what?
Oh,
That's
Sorry,
Drixia.
what?
Oh yeah, Evan Drixia.
oh fuck.
Well, she's on your
He's on our
side.
side, though, hopefully.
Shout out. I'm assuming max dex and alert. For that
And,
plus
and
10.
probably improved initiative on top of that.
Now I need. Let's see, some combat music.
just
Improve
for
the
just for
story
shits and
on PC.
giggles. Just for shits and giggles, I built a character once just to see how far I could push the initiative. I think I got it over plus 20.
Amazing.
It was a Harangon. It was a hideous multi-class, but I did use standard array. It was a Harangon, Gloomstalker Ranger, Swashbuckler
Mhm.
Rogue, War Magic Wizard, Fighter. The fighter was just to get the most like feats and ASIs that I could. With maxed out dex and the alert feat and those multi-classes, it got over plus 20.
That's so gross.
And I went Harangon because they get to add their proficiency bonus to initiative.
Exactly.
It was just for fun. I didn't use the character in anything, but it was one of those things where it's like, yeah, you can go first. You won't be able to do anything very well, but you can go first.
I mean, Gloomstalker gets their first turn nastiness.
All right, so I have a Clem on the initiative order. I have Tara on the initiative order. I have Rin on the initiative order. Thamus, what's your initiative?
15.
15. Okay. All right. Who am I missing on the initiative order?
Simeon?
Simeon, what's your initiative?
I rolled it earlier. What was it? No, that's
12.15.
You got a
12.15.
nat 20 on your initiative.
There it is. 12, yes.
All right. And ascending. All right. Does everyone see themselves on the turn order?
Nope, because
I
I
do.
am all the way at the bottom of it, but I am
Okay. Well, I have to add Lucian's hit points. That's 580 out of 580.
Why are you telling us that?
Put some
Come
of those
on.
back. That's too many. He doesn't need all of them. Put some of those back,
What
please.
the hell?
He's
That just means I'm burning spell slots to smite this fucktard.
So, I mean, this will be just like a 2-episode fight. It's fine.
Pardon my language.
So he's not really intended to be fought.
If it has stats, we can kill it.
And if it is challenging us, I can smite it.
Oh, that's a very high spell save DC.
Don't you just love it when DMs talk to themselves just to make you worry a little more?
Yeah.
this is gonna matter.
I do this to my players all the time too, where it's like,
Uh,
oh wow, I didn't realize
we're
they could do
fighting.
that.
We have undead and fiends in this battle.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Which means my smites are gonna any smites I manage to actually get off are gonna do more damage.
Yep.
Double damage, to be specific.
So this
Exactly.
dragon, Thamus.
So
You mean the
wait.
one directly in front of me?
You are
Um,
currently prone, however. That should not be ignored.
I'm aware.
Avendrixia is going to bonus action disengage, dart into the woods, and disappear.
She rolls that high. Wouldn't it be funny if she just left us?
Oh,
You know,
God,
honestly, I'm thinking
again.
about doing that too. So.
No.
Oh God, here we go.
She just like disappears into the woods, gives that sharp whistle. All of her people turn around and leave her ass.
Yeah, right?
No kidding. These guys.
Rin,
She's gonna
seeing
call the queen later and be like, I don't know what happened. They just died. I don't know.
Ren, it is your turn. There's things happening.
Cool. Yeah, there are. So my first question is, can I, and I know I'll probably have to use my action, but can I like closely examine the bone dragon specifically to make sure it's not an illusion, since we know he uses them?
Looks pretty real. Yeah, I would say, I mean, you are confident it is not an illusion. I'll say that.
Okay, that's good.
You take a second to
Did
look
I-
and you're like, nope, that's real.
I'm just saying, you never know. That's all.
No, it's
Okay,
worth a
so
shot.
do I still have my action?
yes, of course.
Then
Yep.
just to double. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to. Jebediah is currently on the ground. Does he have
Yep.
any weapons on him or anything?
Nope, he's got an arrow in his knee, and he is disarmed.
Okay. I'm gonna go on the other side of Thamus. Right there, and then can I actually use my action to? Well, I'm gonna use my bonus action to inspire Thamus on the way past. But after that, can I use my action to hide in those trees? Like
Yes.
behind a larger tree or something?
Yep. I'd say there's enough foliage there for you to be able to do that. So, you're disengaging and bonus action hide in the trees.
I'm not disengaging. I just moved
Oh, right.
away from
Okay.
him.
All right. So yep, go ahead and make
Um,
a stealth check for me.
Okay. As I'm going past, Ren just goes, I'm sorry. I think I pissed him off. Accent change intentional. I think I pissed him off. I believe in you. We can get out of this. Just giving her some inspiration on the way past, and then hopping into the foliage to hide.
Okay.
All right,
So-
what? Bardic inspiration.
That is a D8.
D8.
And go ahead and make a stealth check. Oh yeah. Okay. I see you rolling. Very good. Target
There's a
rich
total
environment,
of-
indeed.
There's a total of 22.
Okay. You are confident that you feel very hidden as you kind of blend into the shrubbery around you.
Shrubbery.
And that is my turn.
Shrubbery! All right. Very good, very good. Initiative count 20. House Dalhrathir gets to do their thing.
Cool.
As you can see, another foray of arrows is released. Interesting.
Quick question.
Yes.
Since I have my magic awareness running, do I see spells active on the undead that are present?
The undead were animated by necromancy, but sort of like
Okay.
a raised dead type of a
Okay.
situation.
Yeah.
Mm,
And
Thank you.
of course.
I have a question. I'm not sure it's relevant. I have something on my character sheet that says first 2 actions taken by ally military at battle for Isildale will have advantage.
That is the war combat
So that
for the
is
cards. Yeah, so there
okay,
are
that-
so there are like little unit cards that you'll see that are like sideways like this,
Oh,
and they'll have like
yep.
and it will be like a game of Risk, and you'll see like a battle map, and you'll have the MCDM cards that represent the units you have, and you'll be
Not
moving those
relevant.
around. That's
It's not
the
related
yes,
now. Got it.
that's what that means. But when you see those cards, they'll have numbers, and they'll have like unit strength and morale numbers and counters on them. You'll know it when you see it. But they're gonna do. Why is it lightning? Yeah, you can see coming up from the ground around the dragon about 6 green, sort of reddish green vines sort of reach out from the ground and begin to wrap around this bone dragon, this undead dragon, trying to restrain the dragon. The dragon is going to go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, which is not as high on a Dracolich, but succeeds without too much of an issue. And there's only one mage, and now we have a bunch of ranged attacks coming from the House Dalhrathir Elite Warriors. The art on them from purchased WotC product from the Explorer's Guide to Wild Mounts. Throwing stuff around there, and all of the Netherdeep. Those are the Critical Role adventure books. Dalhrathir Elite Warrior, and then we also have House Dalhrathir Shadow Blades as well. Here to see how many of each we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Elite Warriors. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Shadow Blades.
I saw a crit.
Mm-hmm. They're all gonna light this thing up with fairy fire. They're all gonna try it. The Dracolich is gonna have to... You just see like this bombardment of lights, just like someone's launching fireworks from the woods. These globules of light, just like someone shooting a flare or someone shooting off fireworks, and you can see like them coming out of the tubes. It's being launched. It's very pretty and very surreal at the Dracolich. That's 6 dexterity saving throws. DC 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes every single one.
How dare you?
Oh, a 19 on the die, a 17 on the die. So it has to roll a 7 or lower. 8 on the die, natural 20, a 10 on the die, 14 on the die.
I'm assuming a Dracolich has legendary resistances too,
Yes.
so even if it did fail, it didn't.
So the light is just bouncing off of the Dracolich, but now let's go to damage here from the bows. Oop, I actually need an AC. I need an AC count. That would be helpful. It is not 0. Okay, so 15 misses, 14 misses. It's immune to poison. So we have a 7, 15 damage. Natural 20, that's good. That'd be an 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. One of the arrows goes into the eye socket and connects with the back of the skull. The skull actually cracks a bit with that natural 20. 2 others sort of stick into other parts of the bone, but there's like little bits of dusty, ashen flesh kind of just dripping off of this Dracolich. And where they connect, you can hear the cracking of the bone as it's brittle. It almost sort of splinters and spider webs as the arrows hit it. As it this kind of, it doesn't really roar. It lets out this guttural reverberation and the bones rattling together with this low kind of rumble sound. It's really disconcerting. But that is all of the legendary actions there. But also on initiative count 20, thanks to the tarot cards, you can see a shape taking form above the canopy, through the mist and through the shadow, and you hear a rumbling voice echo through the treetops that says, "Servants of Ariak are not welcome in the lands under my protection." And you can feel this reverberation on the wind as your hearts start to your hearts skip a beat, and you feel that reverberation in your chest as you hear this voice echo and kind of comes down through the canopy and reverberates in your chest cavities, this booming voice, as a second dragon, this one already in flight, a brilliant golden color, swoops down from the canopy to join the fray, breaking through the tree line at an angle to position themselves directly on top of this Dracolich. And this dragon is going to look directly down at the Dracolich. And its mouth is going to start to glow with this red-orange glow. And as it does, it points its mouth directly down at the Dracolich. And all of you around are like, oh shit. And as it does, that Dracolich is going to have to make a dexterity saving throw. It fails that time. Oh, there's my 2. Well, a giant turret of flame that shoots down 30 feet erupts, just missing Thamus and Terra, as this pillar of flame from the dragon's mouth, about 30 feet up in the air, shoots down onto the Dracolich. You see this pillar, and the flame, there's an explosion. The cart is now on fire, Thamus and Terra. The cart ignites, and the zombie closest to it... Oh, that is true. I'm going to...
You put it in your bag already, right, Clem?
I'm going to let y'all use your reactions now to throw the powder 30 feet behind you. If you want. Oh, sorry. It's heavy, so 15 feet.
It's true.
I don't have my reaction.
Clem already used
I
his.
used it. Uh-huh.
Can I grab both of them and throw them?
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
Someone give her DM inspiration or use your power die.
I have
Why?
inspiration. I
Okay.
have inspiration. Okay.
What bad thing could happen? It's
Oh my god. We say this.
Wow, thank goodness for inspiration. Hold on. Let me reroll.
Uh,
I can't wait to meet your
Oh,
next character.
fuck.
that would have been the equivalent of cannon damage, which is 10d10.
You rolled
Oh,
you rolled
okay.
2 ones, didn't
nothing
you?
can replace
Okay,
Clem.
here's what
Clem
happened,
can't
right?
go.
My first roll was a 1.
Oh,
My second roll
no.
was a 5 for a total of a 9.
Would someone like to
Consequences.
use power
that
die? A power die. You have some power die here.
What do we have left?
I apologize. I think my the initiative tracker is gonna get wonky.
Didn't we also discuss that we have a reroll?
I have
Ooh,
that
do have a
can
yeah,
decide to
well.
use?
yeah. You have an 11, and a 12, by the way, in the power die, and also you have a wild card that you can use to re-roll if you
I
would
would
like,
prefer you to not die, so please do that.
because that's gonna do 10d10
Yeah, Tara,
damage
why
if
don't
it
you just-
explodes.
If
Just do the
I
reroll.
so okay, if I use one of the 11s, that will give me a dirty 20. Will that be enough to throw both of them over?
Absolutely. And
Does anybody mind if I do that?
well, one of your
I think
die
I have a problem with that.
is the die remaining, or you can use your wild card to re-roll and see what happens, and leave your 11, 11, and 12. It's up to y'all. Table decision. I love this music
I
too
am
because
indifferent.
it sounds like the music that it's like a combat version of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. I just realized that. It's great. I'm here
It
for it.
really does.
And like in this moment where you're like, would you like to use your
Hey,
inspiration or a power
Choose
die?
The 11.
Yeah.
B. Wild card.
Yeah.
Okay, so personally, with the way my rolls have been right now, I kind of just want to take the 11, but I will
Okay.
do the reroll if you guys would
Well,
prefer.
I think the 11 actually works out pretty well.
yeah, and that's also one of yours. One of your die is, I think, the 11. So.
No, mine was the 12.
Oh, okay. Well, you still have Terra's 12 then. So.
And like
mean,
I say,
if-
we still have the 12 for later. I think we should go ahead and take the 11 now.
Okay.
Use our
Use the
reroll for
11.
no offense, someone who can roll better.
No,
But, you know,
absolutely.
knowing
Somebody,
myself, it's not me either. So
somebody, please post like a sweat GIF in the in one of our channels.
I should have taken the reroll for the deck save that left me prone, but hey.
I think that famous GIF is actually from the one of the guy who's like looking down at the choices. All right, so that would bring it up to a dirty 20. Instinctively, Tara just takes the bags and chucks them like Frodo chucking the bags of mushrooms in Lord of the Rings. It's exactly what it looks like. And that torrent of flame goes straight down and sort of ignites the grounds
Hey.
and part of the part of the carriage. But Clem and Tara, you're just out of range. You can feel the intense heat. Your fur is singed, your hair is singed, but it's just a perfect area going straight down where it just singes Thamus and the Ash Zombie and Tara. But that Dracolich is going to take 54 points of fire damage.
Tara, we were going to use those.
They were going to explode if I didn't do something.
Well, they're still there. You just threw them over, and I think with a dirty 20, you throw.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we can
you,
still use them.
yeah. You just threw them off the cart. You just shuck them. Yeah. All right. So now there is, there is a gold dragon that has joined the fray, and that is, that is
That tried to
the
kill us.
yeah. That is the
I'm
upright
having,
dragon. Very
I'm
pretty.
having Iron Fangs flashbacks from when we encouraged
Yeah.
5 dragons to fight each other in an immense cavern.
Oh wow, that was so cool.
That was such a cool moment.
Well, Lucian. is just gonna go ahead and that same effect that y'all felt before happens again. How many people here have seen the D&D movie?
Yes.
Yeah. yet?
I have not yet.
Yeah.
I'm
not.
hoping to this weekend.
Well, for those of you that have seen it, you know what's coming. And you know what that effect was, partially.
No.
So go ahead and do a time stop. As everything around you just seems to dissipate. You're kind of moving and you all feel sluggish, like time is slowing down. But it's okay because I need him in Heaven's Fire, so he's just gonna piece the fuck out of here.
It's the second time we've had the bad guy get away from a stupid time stop.
In fairness to
First
the
in the
DM,
castle, now
in
this
fairness
guy.
to the DM, this one needs to conceive a child in 150 years, or the Heaven's Fire game
Yes.
breaks.
Actually,
So he has a good reason
he
to
should
get away.
have. Yes.
Question. Does anyone have a counterspell?
Unfortunately,
have
no.
this.
I didn't take counterspell with my magical secrets. I wanted to, but I didn't. I'm also out of 3rd level slots, so it wouldn't have mattered anyway. But sorry.
Damn
let
it,
you
there's
know.
nothing I can do.
Well, his spell save DC is also 26. And you're right. You're right. So he's gonna just time stop, teleport away, and then he's gonna shift back to
Wait!
hell. You just, you just see like a little rift opens up in the ground below his feet, and he just like slowly sinks dramatically. Because that's hilarious. But only the
Rin
audience
implied
sees that.
he should use manners, and he was like, absolutely not. And just fucked up everything before dipping.
Yeah, he does a little like
What an icon.
as he like sinks down into hell, little wavy hands type of thing, right?
I'm imagining it's just like the two middle fingers
Yeah.
all the way down, just
outstanding. Well, I mean, quite literally, you did send him back to hell.
Well,
A
there
win
goes
is
Your
our
own
advisor.
volition, though.
Now, when you come to, the necromancy magic remains because these have already been animated. So there is an ash zombie that is now going to try to take a chomp out of Simeon. Chomp, a bite, we call it. Well, it totally misses. And actually the zombie just kind of lunges
Whoa.
forward and falls down prone onto the ground. Just like, and then you just kind of put a foot out and just face plants into the dirt.
Quick little sidestep there, and zoop.
All right, famous. Lots of zombies, lots of ghouls. Target-rich
do-
environment, as was said in the chat, for sure.
Can I do anything beyond get up?
Yep, well, that's getting up from prone takes half of your movement, so whatever that is, that'll be,
Alright.
yep.
You know what? I'm okay with that. And the Dracolich is pretty much no longer there, or no longer relevant.
Oh, it's relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Let's check. Movement speed is 35, so I have half of that.
And there is a ghoul by you as well.
Yeah, this one that went right past Simeon.
Or that's a
You'll have
zombie.
it-
The one to like the north of you. There's a ghoul.
Oh,
the zombie
that-
is prone, which means you'll have advantage on the attack and or no, not and. That's it. You'll have advantage on the attack.
Yeah,
But
but I don't.
yeah.
Let's do. Thing is, with movement, and that's half. That is half. You know what? We'll go up here. We'll attack the ghoul. For actual relevance, is the ghoul undead or not?
I'm just gonna make some legendary actions here.
Is the ghoul undead?
The ghoul does appear to be an undead, yes.
All right. In that case, we're just going to. Now, because I started prone, do I get full attack or only one or?
prone only affects you getting up. So you just have to get up, which is half your movement. And then you can use the rest of your movement to close distance, and then you still have your full turn. So it only took movement to get up. So you still have your full whole turn left before you.
Okay. In that case,
Doing legendary actions, because right now, as this is all happening, the Dracolich and the Adultcore Dragon are like swiping at each other. They're biting, they're ripping the bones out of the Dracolich. The Dracolich takes a chunk out of the gold dragon's scales. It is like the music has left the room, right? And there's that moment in cinema where the music is gone and they're just ripping and tearing each other to shreds with their legendary actions. And I use old school dragon legendary actions, which means they can make one of each of their attacks. But sorry, just wanted to clarify that. Thamus, go ahead.
in that case, we're gonna go with standard attacking it. First attack is a 15 hit.
On the ghoul, a 15 does hit.
In that case, we're going to burn we're going to burn a spell slot for Divine Smite.
Okay.
Divine Smite, which does alright. That's one. That's regular damage. Now to find where to go. Haha. So a total of
I think you should have more than 1d8, I believe.
total of 3.
Ah, okay. 3d8, perfect.
So 16 radiant 16 radiant damage plus 10 bludgeoning.
Okay, and you said you have 3d8, right?
Yep.
Oh, I see. So, so that would be a total of 26.
Yeah, 26 damage, 16 of it is radiant.
Perfect. Okay, so you take your hammer, your shield starts to glow. You bring the hammer down on the ghoul with righteous fury, and as you strike with all of your might, time almost also slows around y'all as the time stop fades and Lucian is able to teleport away and opens a rift, which you can hear, and you kind of feel this intense disconcerting heat as he lowers himself, sort of sinks back into the ground. The rift kind of closes. As time returns, it's almost as if your forward momentum, Thamus, as you leapt back up and charged towards this ghoul, letting out a leonine roar, bring the hammer down, and this ghoul just explodes in a cloud of static and dust as this pillar of flame, this golden pillar of flame, shoots up from the ground about 30 feet into the air from Thamus's strike, and just ash and decaying flesh, which is vaporized almost instantly, just and there's a rain of dust particles around Thamus as this ghoul is entirely vaporized, and actually the body that it was animated from is as well. So, no more dead rebel, no more ghoul. You kind of do a little flourish with the hammer, kind of turn to face the other zombies. Very cool, very cool.
And that's all I got, because I can't move.
Okay, all right. Now that'll be it for Thamus. Come back to the dragon, one of the dragons. Let's see if she gets her breath weapon back. Nope, not yet. But she does have some legendary actions from in between that we're going to... Oh, I'm sorry, the 17 didn't hit. But she rolled the nat 20. So the first one is 2d10. That's going to be a total of 28 plus 11. 28, 38, 39 from a nat 20 on a bite. So the dragon kind of reaches into... grabs on to one of the dragon's, the Dracolich's arms, just takes off like 3 or 4 ribs in one of the Dracolich's arms and just kind of and rips and throws some of this sinewy decaying bone into the tree line, and then has another 18 bludgeoning from the tail, which comes around and cracks another 6 ribs. You hear like the sound of almost like bones shattering and clanging into each other as they kind of deflect off of the rib cage of this Dracolich as the tail shatters some of the decaying bone. And then she gets to make her full turn and do the same thing again. Again, like in cinema, the music has stopped, and she doesn't really need to use her frightful presence, but same thing. Bite and 2 claws, which all hit against the Dracolich. 11, 14, 11. Y'all pulled 2 dragon cards from the tarot cards, so that is 36 damage total. Just ripping and tearing bone. The Dracolich is barely holding its form. She rips one of the wings. The wings kind of crack in on each other. There's a wing that's kind of folded over itself. Tara, there is 2 dragons fighting outside of the cart, and you just threw the 2 bags of gunpowder. The cart is also now on fire.
Awesome. So I don't want to be on a flaming cart anymore, so I am gonna not be here. Oh yeah, I'm gonna come down in front of this zombie over here, and I would like to punch it hopefully very hard.
Okay. To the flames there. Okay. You kind of leap off the cart dramatically. Go ahead and show me some attacks against a zombie.
Yeah, I rolled a natural 1.
Oof.
For a total of 7.
You bring the hammer down and into the oh no, not a hammer. Sorry, you bring your fist into the ground, and your fist you just miss the angle, and your fist just goes into the mud, and your fist gets stuck in the mud. You'll have to, with that nat 1.
Yeah. Okay.
You're gonna have to you try to pull your fist out, and you have to pull your fist out from the sort of rock and mud that's kind of collapsing on itself, and I'll just say that you're able to pull it out, but you lose one of your attacks.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's it for me then.
No, any dope monk shit or key points to use for anything, or?
Yeah, I guess I could go ahead and do Flurry of Blows and spend a key point.
Okay.
Hopefully we'll do better this time.
And that's just when you attack, right? When you attack with your unarmed strike?
Yeah, you don't have to hit or anything to...
I love that. That's so
flurry.
cool. All right, show me Flurry of Bows.
Do some leg kicks while your hand is in the ground.
Yeah, right?
Breakdancing.
18 for the
Hey,
first
Vera.
hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then, 25 for the second hit.
Okay. As you kind of readjust and do kind of lean on, as you pull out your arm, you kind of lean down and use your feet to kick into this zombie's chin. It lets out a puff of smoke after the first hit. So what's the damage on the first hit?
6. 6 for the first hit.
Okay.
And 6 for the second hit.
Okay. So 6 damage a pop. Also, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as this cloud of static electrolyzed ash just emerges from the zombie as you strike it.
22.
Oh yeah, you're good. You are good. You're able to kind of you're a monk. You're really good at controlling your breath. You're able to just kind of generate some ki energy in the air, and almost like air bending, just send the ash scattering to the wind. Anything else for Tara?
No, that's it for me.
Cool. All right. But as you come back with the second palm heel, just kind of caves in the chest of this thing, and you can see it's hollow as you strike it, and it starts to crumble apart before your eyes, and you can see the spinal column. It's really disconcerting. Simeon.
So Simeon is going to go ahead and sidestep towards Jeb over there,
Okay.
but is going to go ahead and engage the zombie in front of him.
Okay.
No, we'll go to there. And then we'll go ahead and try and hit it with my rapier.
Okay. Do a little fancy footwork, a rapier, that definitely hits. And you have an advantage because it's the ash zombie, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. You do have advantage if you want to fish for a crit. It's up to you.
You never know.
Yeah,
25, it's not a crit.
Yeah.
11 points piercing on the first attack.
Okay, as soon as you pierce the skin, that same cloud shoots out and takes you by surprise. Constitution saving throw, please.
I'm good at these. He says,
Oh,
roll
yeah.
16.
No, you're good. You just kind of like, with a little flourish of the rapier, you're able to kind of clear some of the ash. 11 piercing. Perfect.
And then as my second attack, same thing again.
Okay,
Got a 14.
that hits. It's kind of just writhing around on the ground. Okay,
7 total damage.
all right.
Hold on.
Just rapidly sticking this zombie in sequence. You see somebody kind of like with the rapier trying to just skewering this thing multiple different times. It's kind of like every time the dead skin is pierced by these quick rapier jabs.
And that's my action.
Okay, all right. And then we have a ghoulie boy.
Oh man, I forgot I could do that. Oh well, doesn't matter. I just realized I forgot my repost. I could have taken I could have taken a reaction when he missed me the first time, but I didn't. I'll hold it for now because I'm sure the ghoul is gonna come get me.
No, he's going for Jeb. He's gonna grab Jeb. And Jeb is gonna have to make a Constitution saving throw. Of course, I gotta check his.
Oh, I forgot they could do that. I remember
Yeah.
that I hated them for a reason.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
ghouls
Ghouls are
are.
gnarly.
Yep. Jebediah Heathrow, what is your Constitution modifier?
Jebediah.
Jebediah. +1. Succeeds. He's like, no! Okay. Still takes 10 slashing as the ghoul's tongue and it's like, and the ghoul is kind of slashing away at his face, desperately trying to fight off the ghoul. And we have an ash
I just
zombie.
love your voice for him so
Yeah.
much.
Thank you.
Just the squealiest halfling ever.
Dun. Slam attack on Terra, which misses, tries to kind of dig its decaying fingers into Terra. But Terra, you're very easily able to just kind of like, it's almost like slow motion, kind of like, and you just kind of like parry them away. Like, stop that. And you have a ghoul who is going to do the same thing. This one kind of runs over a little bit more aggressively. 12 to hit, which I believe misses.
It misses.
Yeah, you're able to kind of do like an upward spin kick, and just and the ghoul's hands go like and kind of go down and looks up confused, like. Clem, you're up. The cart is on fire, and your skin is starting to burn.
He is going to look between Terra and the Dracolich. How is the Dracolich looking?
I mean, it's pretty fucked up. It's hard for the Dracolich to display emotion or feelings, but it's one of its wings is bent in half. It is held together by magic. It's missing about maybe 18 or 20 ribs. One of its arms is missing. Parts of the cervical spine are sort of chewed off and ripped off. Speaking of, the dragon is about to make... The other dragon is going to make another bite attack. No.
Clem is gonna do something stupid.
Okay.
How bad is this fire right in front of him?
If you do not move out of it, you will start to take damage.
Well, he's gonna run to the dragon, and as he does, he's going to channel randomly rolling. Cold damage.
Okay, that's good. Cold damage is
into
good.
His
Oh, hey, it's
into
Rory.
his
Hydrator die straight, posture
hammer.
check,
Hey,
for tarot
Rory. Gonna be cold damage into his hammer,
Forgot
and
my
he's gonna
drink.
make a swing at it. As
Okay.
he's making a swing at it, he is going to be, because he channeled the magic through it, he's going to be casting Dispel Magic through the hammer, because that's his War Mage thing. He's going to try
Okay.
and hit the Dracolich with a Dispel Magic to
Okay,
see if that will get rid of the animate dead thingy.
okay.
But because it's casting Dispel Magic, I assume that will also do a Wild Magic.
Yeah, because you're up for a surge,
Yeah.
right? Because you used your Tides of Chaos. Okay, yeah. So, are you kind of like leaping through the fire dramatically and trying to bring the hammer down onto the Dracolich's head as the hammer kind of builds up with frost at the head of the hammer?
Yes. But the roll is bad. I got an 11, so that's not going to hit as he tries to do this. But
Do you want to use your...
no,
Wild
I don't want to
card?
use the wild card on the team. We can have that save for something much more important.
Do you have DM
Um,
inspiration?
Oh, I do.
Oh, okay.
That's a
That will
23 to hit.
definitely hit.
14 bludgeoning, 1 cold damage.
Okay, all right.
And the Dispel Magic is going through on the hit.
Okay. So
If it's a higher level than 3, then I need to roll for it.
yeah, go ahead and roll for it. Because it's definitely a higher level than 3. So that would be, is it... I believe it's your spellcasting ability?
It's intelligence, it says, which is a negative 1
Okay.
for me.
Oh,
So.
no. All right, well, go ahead and make the check. We'll see.
That's a 15.
Pretty good. Your
Slippy.
natural 16 on the die, so it's 10 plus the spells level, right?
Yeah, so it'd be 5, 5th and lower.
I'm so happy that you have... Hang on, let me go ahead and I have to pull up the Wild Magic Surge here.
Oh shit. Okay, let me roll that. Oh my gosh, so much.
Okay.
Watch you turn blue again.
That's a 2.
A 2. Okay.
At least we're not all invisible this time, I think. Hopefully.
Okay.
It's a new one.
You
I
would
don't think
hope.
we've
That
seen
is an
two yet.
interesting. So, in the most...
Oh shit! Oh, I know what it is. Oh god.
in the most dramatic of fashions, and I'm so happy that you have someone who commissions art for you. I want to say, everybody, this is Clem's moment. Very dramatically, leaping forward through the fire, using the flaming cart as a springboard, jumps up into the air, brings the hammer down almost in slow motion onto the head of this Dracolich. The head of the hammer starts to coat itself with ice and frost. And as Clem brings the hammer down onto the head of the Dracolich, the skull cracks in two, and you can see this pulse of magic from the head of the hammer, and a nova in 30 feet, in every direction. The Dracolich's bones begin to fall off of one another, and the Dracolich immediately just falls limp to the ground as a sea of bone just falls, echoing through the forest as you deliver by dispelling the animation necromancy of this adult Dracolich in the most dramatic fashion. Do you want to add anything else to that killing blow with dispel magic?
No, he does the hit, like, maybe this will work, I don't know. I see magic, maybe I can just kill the magic, and in doing so he channels as much wild magic, as much magical energy through this as he can. And as you know from what I rolled, that means that there might be some consequences for that. He is going to...
You are glowing.
So
You are literally glowing, but there's like, you're sparkling. You're sparkling, you're glowing. There's like little sparks of magical potential are just sizzling around, multicolored prismatic sparkles around Clem right now.
The next minute is going to be so interesting.
Yes.
He's gonna look at Tara and be like, I think I fucked up real bad.
The sparkles are real pretty, though.
Mm-hmm.
Oh jeez. Okay. Well, he's gonna stand there in shock because he is, unless Tara gets in really bad trouble, he is worried about getting close to her right now. He does not know what's gonna happen.
And with your dispel magic nova, the zombies and the ghouls also fall limp and prone onto the ground.
Okay. Okay.
The gold dragon looks very confused, kind of looks down at Clem, seeing Clem sparkling. And that would be, hang on, let me go through the turn order. Zombies done, that's done. Evandrixia appears from the woods, bow at the ready, and just looking very impressed. I'm putting her back on the token layer. As she kind of slowly just moves from the woods and looks over at Clem like, I'm gonna time this. But at this point, we are technically out of initiative in real time. I'm gonna keep the music going. Go.
So I have 10 more rolls.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay.
You know what? Go ahead and roll 10 D100 right now, and I'll just have them pop up.
Okay.
Anything other than a 7 or an 8 is gold. You're fine. It's great. We'll be able to deal with it.
10 D100, please.
Do you want me to just do that in the roll 20 instead of rolling it?
It's up to you. Whatever. I mean,
Okay,
it's
no,
your wild
I wanna
magic.
use
Whatever you want to do.
I want to use the dice.
Okay.
I believe in you.
Then go ahead and use the dice.
And then I guess if someone wants to type them out as I say them.
I got you.
I got you.
That is a 74 on the first one.
Okay, and Rory, I have your tarot card in the queue.
68
Oh my
on the
god,
second.
not more tarot.
It's okay. This one is going to be cool.
54 on the third.
Mm-hmm.
54 again.
Okay.
Number 5 is 18. 6 is a 9. 7 is a 23. 8 is a 40.
Okay.
Number 9 is a 59. And then the last one that's cocked. Last one is a 10. Number 10 is a 10. Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Let her rip.
So, some of these are funny, so let's go.
Oh boy. Oh great.
As things calm down, you can see one of the drow over here in the woods immediately just vomit onto the ground, and everyone's like, oh, for no reason. And then she kind of just and just vomits profusely and just, what the fuck is happening? In common, it kind of looks over at you accusedly. As this is happening, a crow just kind of flutters down from above and lands on a tree, sort of right over here, lands on a tree branch next to Clem, and just goes, "Ah!" And Clem, you are terrified of this crow, and you immediately let out a screech and feel like you have to run as far away as you can from this terrifying devil crow. You are afraid of this crow for the next minute.
Oh, and then a repeat happens a
Sorry.
little while later.
Until the end of your next turn. You are temporarily, for 6 seconds, frightened by this crow. How do you
Yeah.
respond to this crow flying down that you believe is a harbinger of doom from hell?
Depending on where it lands, absolutely running in the opposite direction for sure.
Right on the tree branch here. Okay. So Clem just takes off running. You also feel like you could drink as much alcohol as you could possibly imagine. You have this hankering.
Oh,
You have a hankering for booze, and you feel like you need it ASAP.
and that's for the next 5d6 days.
Yes.
Twice.
So roll 5d6 for me.
Or wait, no, that's the other one. Never mind. Never mind. Ignore me.
Twice.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
Oh, actually, yes.
17.
Okay, now roll.
So 17.
Now roll 5d6 again.
What? Oh, shoot.
Yep.
I'm so bad at math. 16.
Me too.
17 on top of...
17?
Oh, geez. No, a 22. So 37? 39? 17 plus 22. Jesus. 39.
39.
You are...
That's more than a whole month. You can't get drunk.
Yes, you are immune to being intoxicated for the next 39 days.
That's... I don't know how to feel about that.
Now, after the rest of y'all see Clem just book it in the other direction of this crow that has landed on a tree after combat, then just immediately starts looking around frantically. You don't know what he's looking for, but you're looking for a flask or a keg of beer. Like you really need a drink of some kind. Runs away from the crow, realizes that it's just a crow, gets a hankering for alcohol, and then what else do we have here?
Let's
Yeah,
just
that
say,
one.
Immediately
This is a
after.
good
be very thankful Nazgris is not here.
Immediately after this
uh-huh.
happens, you just hear thunk, and you see this beard of feathers just appear on Clem's face.
We need art of that.
So that happened before when I was trying to flirt with him over at the
Yeah.
baths.
Mhm.
I sneezed feathers everywhere, so
Well, right now you do not sneeze. So you just have a beard of feathers that is lingering, that just thunk, comes out of nowhere. So Clem is acting really strange and there's some weird stuff happening. And then you cast a magic missile at 5th level, just around you. Everyone ducks, and Evandrixia says, "Somebody stop this herring gun!" And it's literal fireworks hitting the trees. 5, 6, 7, 8 bolts of magic missile hit into trees. Followed shortly by... Oh no.
yeah. What happens?
Oh
Yeah,
no.
uh-huh.
No! As soon as the magic missiles go off and there's a beard of feathers, Clem turns blue. Again.
I knew I should have taken remove curse. I knew. I should have taken remove curse.
I'm sorry. That's what the table is. I'm sorry. Oh.
You look great,
you're not
though.
done yet, kid.
It's like it was just meant to be at this point.
But go ahead and roll 2d10 for me.
For what? The D10, it's a 61, I guess.
No. Just
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 a
2d10.
d10.
It's
just
not a
2d10.
D100.
Sorry.
Oh,
just,
a D10?
2d10.
Yeah, I got a 6 and a 1.
Okay, so you gain 7 temporary hit points. As you feel invigorated. Despite the fact that your skin has turned blue, you feel very healthy. We're not done yet.
Lord.
As Ren said, we're not done yet. 2 more to go. Okay. You also feel invigorated to the point that you regain your lowest level expended spell slot. You feel very healthy and very capable of taking on the world. And then you cast a magic missile again at 5th level. Which also, as Evandrixia takes a few
Everyone
steps
thinks
in...
it's over.
Yeah. As the trees, branches are falling and breaking in the drow, then you just hear the other drow like, kind of retch again over in the corner. Because she is poisoned for
I want
3 hours.
that those Ettercaps that were trying to attack us before everything went down are still here and are just shitting themselves as we wreck these trees on.
And then, from a tarot card from the Four of Plants, there is this forest of deathcap mushrooms that just begins to sprout out of the ground around from the edges of the road and from the corpse of this Dracolich, and these sort of grayish, sort of brackish looking mushrooms with sort of black spots on them. This like 7-foot tall wall of around the roadside, and also in the particularly clumped around where the zombies had been dispelled, and amidst the adult blue Dracolich, this sort of fungus just begins to grow rapidly. The gold dragon just kind of looks at Clem and just slowly turns and just starts to take off. Kind of looks over her shoulder and just very confused and concerned. Just, my work here is done.
I love how quickly the like impressed went to concerned, because it was like, oh, you took them all out. That's so. What are you doing? What's going on?
Fire goes out.
Why do you keep going?
This is the most insane. Oh, okay, I gotta see if I can find like a thing for mushrooms. Let's see.
Clem's just gonna sit in the ground, feeling dejected, and wait for this to, like, even though the wild magic's probably done, like, there's still kind of like when popcorn's like just finished and you see like the last little bits of popcorn are like going off. It's just little random sparks every now and again. Like, maybe this is just dying down.
Where is Clem on the map? Never mind. I see.
Beats me.
You're underneath the mushroom dragon. Rin just carefully approaches. Are you good? Is everything okay?
I'm never doing that ever again.
It seems like it took a lot. Are you hurt?
Physically, no.
Okay.
Emotionally,
Well,
in the Feywild, when things are, if someone's angry, sometimes the plants around them will turn red. Right now, my fur is blue, so.
For what it's worth, the thing on the thing says that your skin turns blue. So
Yes.
your fur remains pink and gray. You're blue under.
I almost wonder if that's worse.
It might be. It might have some weird like color combo stuff. I just wanted to say it is different.
But
in any case,
I like having the bisexual colors.
You can absolutely
Bisexual
have
lighting.
it is up to you how you appear.
It's meant to be. We'll go with the blue fur because it's my expression. So it'll be, I think, because he kind of dyes his hair. I don't know. We're gonna say that his hair remains pink, but like most of the main fur is like this bluish color again. So he's got like a starburst color to him almost.
Okay.
I dig that.
Yep.
Blues and pinks.
I'm sorry this happened again. Has that ever happened to you before? The rush of chaotic effects?
No, not well, my parents said when I was born it kind of happened like that, and they freaked the hell out.
Odd.
They said the midwife died. No, I'm joking.
Evandrixia kind of approaches the group and she's just like, I think we should get off the road and to the camp.
Yes, I
Agreed.
agree.
Wait,
as we
what
are
about,
walking, I just want to turn to the one that's throwing up on the side of the road and just, I'm sorry. For what it's worth, it wasn't an intentional thing.
She just looks at you with eyes that could slice through steel. What were you gonna say, Clem?
Oh, just well, now that we're done with this, what about our advisor? Don't we need him for the thing with the tower and stuff?
What
It was a
advisor?
ruse.
What advisor? You're the advisors.
Oh, I thought Lucine was
Oh,
supposed to be an art dragon or an advisor, or
Do
He
I
said
still
he was
have her
gonna help or
scroll, by the
something?
way?
She just kind of looks confused and just I don't know what the fuck is happening. I have a pounding headache. And I just saw the impossible happen before my eyes on this very road, which I have patrolled for over a century. I think we should get back to the cave. I feel like there's some foul magic here at work.
That's one way to put it. Let's
Do-
get somewhere safe
Simeon-
and secluded. Sorry, go ahead.
Does Simeon have enough experience with illusion magic to sort of have an idea as to what that was?
Make an Arcana check. Also, the scroll. You kind of go for the scroll, and it as you. I think Ren had it. As you kind of go to unwrap the scroll, it just turns to dust in your hands.
That would be a nat 20 on that Arcana check.
That is
Hell
definitely. This is definitely reminiscent of the old tales of fiends from the Nine Hells using manipulative magic to almost brainwash the individuals or entrance or enchant the individuals that they come into contact with. Enthralling them would be a good word, under their spell. It's how Ariak almost conquered the world during the Second Infernal Crusade.
Lovely. Just what we need.
As they're sort of walking back to the cave, Simeon will explain what he understands of what they just encountered, and relate the tale of the Second Crusade back to her as they're walking.
And she just... Have you parlayed with the Golden Flight? What... Arametra the Gold, was she following you?
No,
Is that
not
the dragon?
her.
That
But-
would be the dragon, yes. Her name is Arametra. She is a grown dragon, an adult dragon. Maybe 3 centuries old, perhaps?
She was not, to our knowledge, not with us.
2 centuries. My apologies. My head is fuzzy.
It's been one hell of a night.
Okay, and what about the magic coming from your very blue friend with feather beard?
Oh,
He's gonna
he
sneeze
does that
immediately.
sometimes.
That's a,
A touch of the Feywild. It just happens.
You
not usually this much.
The severity is definitely, definitely something we've never seen before.
But we've seen chaos effects due to our companions' connections to the Feywild.
Oh. I had known that this land was cursed. Most of the land here that is dead or decayed was once a battleground or fortification for Ariak's lieutenants. The field where you saw the statue of General Nasidier. That was where most of it happened, but these woods are littered with surprises like skeletal
what we
dragons.
just witnessed.
Like exactly what you just witnessed. All servants of the betrayers. From centuries ago, millennia ago, now. It doesn't surprise me. And then you hear a sneeze, and the feathers just... and you just... Excuse me. And she says, that surprises me. As does the coincidence and providence of everything happening all at once, is almost as if some strange malign force is acting with the invisible hand of the gods.
Self-inflicted. Maybe could you do like a spell or something to, I don't know, protect the ground? Like do a holy thing or something like that to make sure if they're like hiding dead bodies all around the land and stuff, maybe you can stop them from coming back.
Would that we knew most of the dead bodies and the corpses and foul magic from millennia ago are buried deep, because it was a millennia ago. Well, the Second Infernal Crusade ravaged these lands. Most of us weren't even infants by then. We are elves, but we are not so long-lived as to...
We cannot change the past.
Wise words.
We also need our strength if we're going to take back what is ours. So let's get everything cleaned up, and let's find a safe space for the night.
Well said.
Because I assume it is out of character. I assume it is nighttime at this point, or at least time for our rest.
We established a couple of sessions ago that it was night. That's why we had torches and such.
Even better. And Thamus will help, if need be, help scout out for a good area to set up.
Oh, you won't need to do that. Where we're going is very dry, as it is still raining. It's drizzling, right? It is sort of like a steady drizzle of rain. Not oppressive, but the rain is still drizzling down upon you. But she says there is someplace very dry, very safe. Despite the once in a millennia occurrences that occurred on this road today, which I'm sure we will have memorialized in our scrolls and tomes and our histories. We call it the Battle of the Tricross. That's the intersection there that we were at. Old parts of forsaken land once controlled by the betrayers, not to harp on that point, but we have several hours worth of travel left to walk. It should be in the wee hours of the morning by the time we return, but we'll make sure that all of you get some rest. Follow me. It's another several hours in this direction. Come.
Thank you for not killing me when I was having all that stuff.
Oh, here, you still have a feather, and she just kind of plucks the last one out and just kind of hands it back to you.
It all happened very quickly, over the course of about a minute.
Clem,
I'm
we're
just
not
glad
gonna
I didn't hurt anyone, so...
As am I, because then you would have the matrons to
Well-
answer to.
There's a hunter that would beg to differ, but
Deeper and deeper into the woods. You can see that the decaying trees are slowly replaced by wood that has the appearance that is sort of tinged with this sort of oily sort of Icarus residue. This thick sap on the trees. The trees look less dead and slowly more alive. And as you reach roughly the 4-hour mark of your travel through the Deadwood and into the Crimsonwood, you can see that the trees start to turn from this decaying old green and gray. The webs start to give way to more of a deep shade of crimson, a burgundy first, then crimson. And as the rain begins to stop and the clouds begin to part and a little bit of moonlight pierces through the canopy, you can see this vibrant shade of red about hour 5 at the treetop. And then in the distance on the horizon, you can see what appears to be the mouth of a cave. A rather unassuming cave. The mouth of the cave only a few feet wide. Set into the side of a cliff about 80 or 90 feet sheer. You can see trees and shrubbery lining the outside of this multi-layered cliff face. It has almost like natural paths that wind along the outside of the cliff. It's rather unassuming, and you don't really see too much of a presence, but as you approach closer, you can see that the cave, the mouth of the cave, kind of almost flickers with sort of just a flash of light. It's only maybe like a 5-foot wide gap, but the mouth of the cave almost seems to shimmer slightly. You hear sort of this bestial rumbling from within. Evandrixia kind of turns to you and just says to all of you, an illusion. Don't worry about the sounds of the beast. And as you get within 30 feet of the cave, you can start to see, almost appearing out of nowhere, 100 figures in perfect camouflage. Arrows at the ready, not pulled back, but sort of facing down towards the ground in the ready position. Hundreds of humanoid, slender figures lining the treetops, the cliffside face, the cliff wall, in every direction. Hundreds of drow at the ready, all gazing down upon you. Let me see if I was smart enough to put your tokens. If not, I'll bring them up together here and group y'all up. Copy.
When we sort of cross through the illusion, Simeon will sort of stop and bow to the assembled might of House Dalhrathir.
Oh boy, is this a big map? Oh boy, it is. That's cool.
You get to sort of I just needed Evandrixia. You get to the base of the cliff face. Hang on, here's your prisoner, your halfling fascist that y'all have bound in chains pulling along there. And oh, that's right. New token. We just add HP and AC to that token, so you have it.
I think the biggest thing I need is sight.
What's really interesting is that's right, new token sight. What's your dark vision? Fiend dad, yeah. Yeah, Rory, your dad was here. He showed up and because of a tarot pull, and they pissed him off, so he rose all the dead.
All I did was imply that he should use manners.
Yes,
and
exactly.
He took extreme offense to that.
So, what's your dark vision again?
I think my dark vision is based off of when I turn my hand axe or
oh yeah, okay,
maul into a torchy thing.
Rin will bring up her dancing lights if we're getting in the dark.
Yes, please.
She'll bring those up, so there'll be 4 little lanterns of light that move ahead of us as we go in.
As
we are at the absolute bottom of the map if you have not zoomed down.
Yes.
Clem.
You walk to the edge of the cliff face, and she just kind of directs you all inside. Again, there's only about a 6-foot gap, and you stand at the edge of it, at the very bottom of this 90-foot sheer cliff face. She walks into the mouth of the cave and disappears, and you hear that rumbling coming from within, and you can see 2 glowing eyes inside of the cave. What do you do?
Amos will follow.
Okay.
Rin
Same with
follows.
Simeon.
We can be betrayed twice, so we'll just go in.
Okay.
And I'll pull Jeb's chain.
Okay, just gonna yank. And pulling Jeb along, you kind of walk into the mouth of the cave. And inside, you can see in the darkness those two glowing green eyes. Evandrixia walks right up to what is lurking in the shadows. And this massive figure that sort of rumbles in the darkness lowers its mighty head, and you can see what appears now on the interior of this space, which is a singular room, several 100 feet wide, appearing in the darkness in full spectacle, what appears to be an ancient black dragon. Slowly lowers its draconic head to face the party, eyes and snout directly in front of Evandrixia. She touches a pendant on her necklace as this black dragon expands its wingspan and lets out a mighty roar that reverberates through the cavern and causes y'all to recoil briefly in that moment. But as the dragon's mouth lowers, it remains open, and you can see sort of green fire beginning to form in the dragon's mouth. But before it can spew acid breath on you, the green just begins to swirl, and you can see it forming this swirling pattern in its open mouth. She smiles and looks back at all of you. The dragon seemingly now still, undulating slightly in place. She steps into the dragon's mouth, into its maw, ducks down, and steps into the green, sort of flowing acid fire, acidic green fire, and disappears.
Did she just kill herself, or?
The dragon's mouth just remains open, and that sort of green fire is swirling.
I believe it's another illusion.
She said it
Yep.
was an illusion, so
So,
Rinnel,
Then Simeon
go
walks in.
famous will follow.
All right, there is a
Oh,
fair bit of heat that it gives off, and your skin burns ever so slightly, but trusting your instincts, you step
Not mine.
through. Is anyone not going in?
I mean, Clem stepped through weirder, so I guess he'll just go.
Okay.
It's hair's going.
He
Alright.
trusts his friends.
You are immediately hit with a burst of wind that hits all of your faces as you step from behind a rock out of another small cavern 90 feet above the forest floor. You can now see the shapes of additional, very intense looking drow gazing down upon you from an even higher perch along the side of a secondary cliff face. And then a cavern mouth that has battlements, bulwarks, and deterrence of war, along with crates and other evidence of habitation on the outside of a mouth of the cavern, 90 feet up onto a secondary cliff face. Arrows pointed down at the ready, even up here on the cliff face. A well-protected, secret, hidden fortress. Evandrixia walks towards the entrance and disappears into the shadow, confidently striding forward.
Yeah, I'm not going to speak for everybody else, but I'll keep following.
Rin continues to follow.
yeah. Simeon as well.
Okay,
Terra too.
all right. As you step into the cavern, Jebediah, your prisoner in tow. I'll bring Clem a little closer. Go ahead and move your tokens into the mouth of the cave. Dad sounds about right, yeah. You can see now there is a cavern system opening up before you, a fortress that is lived in and well used, but everyone here is silent. They are staring at you as you approach. They are worn by battle. Their armor is not polished. It is damaged. In many places it is broken. Crates are old and worn, as are the barrels. There is wood that is strewn and scattered about the cavern. It has been haphazardly placed and replaced countless times again. There is a palpable aura of sadness that sort of pervades this cavern. There are countless signs of used and reused habitations and of a people that are desperate for a change. People that have been driven from their home, just out of reach, but still in sight. Tortured by, even as elves, 30 years away from their home, by a foreign invader that had ousted them from their ancestral home. There is a feminine drow that approaches from the shadow and gloom in the cave. And like the other drow here that you had seen, the Shadow Blades, who had shown that they had potential to move through the shadows that you saw during the battle briefly, that had an element of true sight to move through the forest. They wear silver masks, and there is another that approaches with a similar mask, with sort of a white and an alabaster sheen. And as she approaches, gives a nod to Evandrixia, doubles her pace through the barricade, and embraces shoulder upon shoulder, and then forehead to forehead. She says, "Sister," and the other says, "Sibling." And the drow behind her removes her mask, and you can see a woman in plate armor that has a bow and a rapier. Her armor is piecemeal in places, but is very well kept and polished. Evandrixia steps aside. This woman steps forward through the barricade and stops just shy of your party. Stoically. Solemn. Just sizing you all up. And she says, "Welcome, Stormwatch. We're a bit late, and this is all that there is left But if there is any justice in the world, we will see it undone. And we will see us return to our homes. I am Matron Raelrith Dalhrathir. I welcome you to all that remains of our people. It is our hope that you will bring hope with you. And if you do not, then you have come all this way for naught. What say you?
In
I am
we
Simeon.
are
Stand with the Stormwatch. And with luck, we bring more than just hope. We also bring lost family members. So hopefully we can at least burnish the numbers we have and take back what is yours.
in 5 days' time. More forces will arrive as well. I am Rin of the Stormwatch.
Simeon. Rin. Terra, Clem, and Thamus?
That's right.
And
Mhm.
you hear sort of a like a sound of heavy steps coming from the northwestern portion of the cavern, and you see a shadow looming in the distance, and everyone turns to face it, and a massive figure emerging from the shadows appears, and as it takes shape, the shadow speaks and says, "Friends!" As Shouldress skitters her way up and over the barricades and lowers herself and holds out as many arms as she can for hugs.
Rin
I'm
will.
blue again, Childress.
You are!
I see she's
Rin,
found you first.
Rin lets the elven form fade. Illusory butterflies dissipate away, and her outfit falls away in a sort of shower of what looks like scraps of paper, fades into the ground, and she goes back to her normal human form, with just like the basic traveler's clothes and the short, tight red
Mhm.
curls. Shieldress! It's so good to see you again. I'm so glad you found your way here.
It's so good to see all of you again, too. Of course, I know the way home.
Clem is
Have
gonna
you-
hug
how
her
long have you-
and
Oh.
not let go of her.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you again. I'm sorry you're blue again.
When did you arrive?
Oh, well, I arrived just before, Avinia, and everyone kind of looks a little solemn at that. And then Evandrixia says, about that, I believe we have brought a solution to our problem. The magic we require to reverse this necromancy requires a live sacrifice of an enemy. They all kind of slowly look at Jeb. And he just,
Oh,
whoa,
great.
wait. And they just bring him. And he just, no, you can't let them do this to me. And he just kind of screams as they drag him the other side of the cave.
Rin has a look of distaste, but she doesn't like speak out or interrupt it or anything like that. It's more just uncomfortable with the scenario.
And Simeon is stone-faced at this one.
The matron says, you have brought us a long-lost sister. And for that, we will do whatever we can to repay you. You have brought 2 long-lost sisters, and for that, we owe you twice as much of a debt. And for assisting us with securing a live sacrifice so timely, and to restore a sister, we will be forever in your debt. Battle is over, yet the war remains to be won. And you can see that she looks down at the necklace that was taken from Jeb, that was given to her. And seeing you all kind of have some concern on your faces, she just kind of takes the necklace and drops it on the ground in the middle of all of y'all. And she says, "This is why we fight. Are you with us?"
Yes, of course.
Miss, ma'am, matron,
Yes.
can I cash in a favor, and could I have a curse removed, please?
I think that can be arranged. Come. You'll have to meet the other matrons, but they are not as described. There are many stories about the 3 sisters, but there is nothing like meeting them for the first time, my sisters.
Also, matron, if I may, I believe I have something for Avinia.
Oh?
We recovered this in the sewers of the ruins of New Arcos, and I believe it has something to help with her regeneration.
I will bring this to the matrons immediately.
And he'll hand over one of the vials of the stuff.
Kind of looks at it and just,
Amber sap.
with the sacrifice you brought us, this should be more than enough. With a little luck from the matrons, hopefully we can get this to work. And you have come to help us reclaim our home. House Dalhrathir will always be indebted to the crown, forevermore. This we swear. But now, the war.
The restoration of your home is the honor. This is friendship.
Building off of his point, I was going to say, perhaps let's hold off on the eternal oaths until we've helped you reclaim your home.
I agree. Now, let us meet the other matrons. Come. You hear just like Jeb screaming in the background in the corner. Very disconcerting. A little morally gray.
Every time he does, Rin visibly winces.
Yeah.
But again, she doesn't do anything to like interrupt or call attention. It's just
I
just
think
very uncomfortable.
Clem is not smart, but he is at least a little emotionally aware. He has a hand. If Childress will accept it, he will be holding one of Childress's hand-leg things, like holding her hand.
Yeah.
But he's gonna extend his other one to Rin to try and reach his hand out almost in a comforting manner.
Yeah, she'll take it. She'll hold his hand as we walk in.
And he'll just look down and give her a bit of a reassuring smile and try to walk with both of them as he swings his arms back and forth in like a playful manner.
She smiles up at him. In Sylvan, and I understand that the drow might speak Sylvan as well, but in Sylvan she just I know he deserves it, and I know that they should be the ones to do it, but I don't think I'll ever celebrate this sort of thing. I don't know that I'll ever
Valid.
be okay with it.
I don't think you have to be able to celebrate it, but you're right. But I don't know what to think about it, but at least we're still here together. Maybe we
You're
can
right.
do something to stop these kinds of things from happening.
Well, stopping him was a good thing. It's just... I don't know, like I said, we did the right thing, and he deserves what he's getting. It's just... It's not the kind of thing that I want to be a part of, if that makes sense.
I think the sooner we take care of stuff like this and try
Sooner
to
we end
bring
the
back
war.
some semblance of peace, yeah, stuff like this will hopefully stop. If not, then, well, if you ever get sick of it and all that, maybe we can just go to the Feywild for a bit.
I'd really like that. I've never been anywhere but, this continent.
Still
I'd like
pretty
to see-
violent there, but
Despite herself, she does laugh a little. Maybe after everything's said and done, after we eventually take Baraktal and get my father, maybe we can take a sort of trip to the Feywild.
Sure. I'll show you the best spots.
I have no doubt in my mind.
As you prepare to parley with the drow of the Crimson Wood, the drow of House Dalhrathir, to help them reclaim Bur-Ithilan, the Shadow Tower, their ancestral homeland and place of power, as you aim to help restore a cursed sister of House Dalhrathir, and to prepare to help on a whole peoples reclaim their ancestral homeland that was stolen from them. Here in this cavern, as you prepare for what lies ahead, we're going to go ahead and end the session for the evening. So, well done, everybody. Good job with the chaos. Lots of wild magic. Lots of tarot.
Intense.
Lots of tarot. Lots of old lore. Lots of morally gray sort of war stuff, right? Coming down the pipeline, but war is ugly. And there's a lot.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot to process and to plan for.
Rin's general vibe right now is just, you guys should have your pound of flesh. He has been part of brutalizing your people, but those screams are screams.
Yeah.
Famous does not look happy about it. Famous, however, is not actively doing anything to stop it.
It was a loud roar that my stomach made, but it's a normal one. But yeah. All right. Yes, Thamus kind of also.
You all can tell Thamus is not happy about this, but Thamus has also been around war, understands.
Oh, also we have, this is where the Four of Constructs and the Artificer is in this cave, so it is right around the corner. You still have a wild card to use.
Yay!
And now we have one card in the queue, which is a benefit card. It's the Warlock upright. That is the last one that we didn't get to, so we can take care of that. So it's going to give you a Warlock benefit. But for now, thank y'all for an excellent session. This was a lot of fun. Again, lore, combat, tarot cards, a little bit of everything. Thank y'all. Y'all are awesome. Let's go on the table and let everyone else know what we have working on. Jeff Lashwithagen, what do you have coming down the pipeline in your world?
Not much going on right now. You can catch me here every other Monday playing D&D with these fine folks. Otherwise, you can catch me in our Discord here with the rest of the crew at ESP TTRPG.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, and Avalon Willowbloom, what you got going on?
Hi. Yeah, I'm of course here playing D&D, but beyond that, I also voice act, usually with Faustian Nonsense and their network of podcasts and audio dramas and such. But here recently, I also joined a show called Tranthologies that is currently planning and producing its second season, and that'll be crowdfunding in the near future. It's an anthology podcast where episodes are written and acted and edited and such by trans people. And it actually just won, I think, 6 or 7 Audioverse Awards, which is
Congrats, that's
super
nice.
cool. So yeah, I'll be a part of the second season. So far I'm in 4 spots, I think, but shan't reveal any details yet. But yeah, so that's coming up on the horizon. Super Suits also just dropped its 5th episode today. A delightful sort of, call it what it is. It is a little bit of a mess for the characters, but it's good fun for an audience. Otherwise, I don't know if I have anything else to really talk about at the moment, but yeah.
Yo, Amberthist in the chat, and you can see me here every other Monday, where I'm playing, obviously, Clem with our Stormwatch campaign. Otherwise, every Friday, I'm over on Bricarious's channel on Twitch, playing Everett, a halfling barbarian rogue. So that's been a lot of fun. Something else might be in the pipeline, potentially, talking about that kind of stuff. So we shall see. But other than that, yeah, just having fun on the internet playing games. So that's it.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. And Lady Angela Rose, what you got going on?
Well, I'm here every other Monday for Stormwatch. If other than that, I have a podcast where I talk about anime. So if you like that, Sunday nights, check out Animazing Radio. Beyond that, it's sporadically playing D&D on the internet.
Awesome. Thank you, Ange. And Isabits. Hey.
Hello. I am Isbits. I am here every other Monday playing Terra. I am on Lucas G Variety every other Tuesday. So tomorrow I will be there playing Power Rangers. And then you can catch me every Sunday and then every other Wednesday and Friday on twitch.tv/Master of Rem for like Clockwork, Power Rangers, and Well of the Worlds, which is a Prowlers and Paragons game. It's a new kind of setting. If you like, and I always say this word wrong, so I apologize. Isekai stories.
Isekai.
Thank you.
Isekai.
Yeah, I can never say it right. Yeah, if you like those kind of stories, that's the kind of the game that we're playing over there. But yeah, that's me.
Awesome. All right. And we are going to go ahead and raid over our friends at Veilatier. Friend of the show, friend of the server. All right, y'all. Be queer, do crime. We'll see y'all on Discord. I'm gonna hop over to Dalhrathir. Bye.
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 Bye.